back, CPP, back over large, back over, party, you okay, party, you okay, party, you okay, show me party, you okay,
Which song is this?
This one.
So it reminds me of some of the jams in the inner community.
You see, Nathan, now let me tell you what is going to happen. Now, our next game is against England. They'll beat us.
Oh, Charlie.
No, wait.
On the law of averages, yes. On the law of averages, England have a better team. So, yeah.
Croatia in their next game against Panama, they'll kill Panama. So now, Croatia will be on 3. Correct. England will be on 6. Ghana will be on 3. Panama will be on 0. So the last round of games, England will play Panama. Whether they lose or they win, they'll go. As for England, whether they win that game or lose, I mean, they would have booked their place in the next stage. Now, between us and Croatia,
okay,
on 3 points.
So you are saying that we are likely to go into the final group game
on 3 points
against Croatia
on 3 points.
On 3 points,
and Croatia would also be on 3 points by the time we get to the final round of games. Okay. So what we should be doing? So we have to go and do Penny Mami Show. You see, we possibly have to find a way to get Croatia and us to draw.
I see.
You get it. So Ghana and Croatia.
So it means that our fate could hang on that Croatia.
Exactly.
Game.
Now, if Croatia decide to play football, they'll beat us. You see? So you see what the challenge is. So by now,
but you see, not getting a win against Panama would have been even more precarious. So as for getting the points, we had to get the points. We have the points. Okay, now we need to plot how to navigate.
How we do the job against Croatia, especially. You understand? If we get a draw against Croatia, the Croatians will understand that, look, all of us will go through.
So if we get a draw, we understand that 4 points will send everybody through.
So that is the Pinima Michel. But if Croatia decide to be stubborn,
they could cause problems.
That's it.
Because
that's what I'm saying.
3 points may not be enough.
3 points may not be enough. That's what I'm saying. Our fate hangs on that Croatia game. Who asked for England? Let's forget about it.
So wait, let me ask you a question. So England beating Croatia, was it good news or bad news? Man is inconsequential.
That would have even been worse.
Assuming that game ended in a draw.
Because both teams on 1. And then they win their next 2. 7-7. You get it? 7-7. Then they move away from them.
So somebody winning that game was important. Okay.
So now it gives us the game we should pay attention to is that Croatia game. A draw at least.
We have to go and get something.
As for this England, let's forget about this England. No, you understand? The Croatia game, that is where our fate hangs. And that is where we have to perform. If we go and do Pinima Michel, or if we would match them boot for boot, we have to figure it out. Because,
because the 3 points there, they may not. So we need 1 more point.
1 more point. And that 1 point won't come in that England game.
Kaish.
That 3 won't come in that England game.
You know what?
Well, you know where England find themselves? England find themselves in a position where they think they are going to win the World Cup.
So for them, every game is important.
They don't want to waste time. So Tuchel says, look, our next game, let's wrap this thing up and start thinking about knockout stages. So that in the next game against Panama, I can play the Ivan Tony and those small. I can play. You understand? I'll give my friend players
Trafford, very well. Change the back line. Harry Kane is relaxing on the bench.
You understand? That's what he wants to do. So they would be very ruthless against us.
Yeah.
That's what we must understand.
That's what serious teams do. Yeah. You win your first 2, quick.
You wrap it up and then you move on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The most important game for us will be the game in Philly.
But
you know,
let's get into.
But despite everything, though, you know, you mentioned teams that are serious.
Yes.
So every serious team has approached the World Cup with a lot of discipline.
That's right.
Nobody's misbehaving. We are all locked in. And that's what it must be, right?
Yeah.
So the other night when Ghana was playing against Panama, bro, let me tell you something. I was out eating sausage at around 1:30, 1:45. Bro, no man home hear me, bro. After jumping up and I had to eat something. So I got myself sausage and a drink. And I finished, I drank a little water. But as I was taking all of that, I remembered that sausage and this, they are all snack attacks.
Yes.
And this water, that's what's happening because the people who are watching Uzbekistan v Colo, you are eating something and all of that. So I quickly remembered that even though I had to come back to the office, right, at 2 a.m. and prepare for and relax and take it easy for Thursday, I still had to, right, brush my teeth. And luckily, I had my Pepsodent World Cup limited edition with me. I had the antibacterial one, the red one, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen my unboxing video?
Yeah,
You saw have you seen the goodies in the box?
Nice goodies. Yeah, super good.
See me later.
See you, Chambers.
Yes.
Thank you.
You know that you are my brother.
Yes.
I'll give you something.
Otherwise, I'll publish you.
So I use the antibacterial, right? Because we are fighting germs. We don't want germs to score, right? Yeah. In this case, we won't be like the Panama defense to allow Caleb Yorenchi 95th minute winner. No,
not at all.
In this case, no 95th minute winners. So I had to use Pepsodent's antibacterial. That's what I used. So did that, washed up, and then I was relaxing in my office chair for Thursday morning, which was a very hectic morning. Yeah. So that's my advice to everybody. Go out there, use the Pepsodent limited edition World Cup toothpaste. Look, the content is super. What I even love about is the box. Yeah. It looks like gold.
The gold.
It's really
almost
nice.
like you're holding a World Cup.
It's really, really nice. So go out there and get the Pepsodent World Cup limited edition. It's available at supermarkets and shops nationwide. And you are looking for one of 3 variants: fresh breath for all-day confidence, antibacterial to fight germs, plaque removal for a cleaner, stronger smile. This World Cup season, Pepsodent says when it comes to your oral health, fan World Cup, we don't want problem. So please go out there and use Pepsodent. And remember to do the 2. Brush in the morning when you wake up. Don't disturb the public.
Do the 2.
And then at night before you sleep, brush your teeth with Pepsodent once again so you can sleep well.
Ojengma.
Nakai.
Well, football fans, the biggest tournament in the world is here, and so are the biggest deals from Sinclair Tech. Now, Nathan, my phone, you see, before I go to World Cup, this my phone is worrying me. So I'm going to Sinclair Tech today. I'm going to change my. I'm looking for an upgrade on my iPhone. So today, the only place I would go is Sinclair Tech. From 13th of June, to the 25th of July, 2026, enjoy amazing discounts on Apple products, Androids, laptops, game consoles, home appliances, accessories, and much more. Looking to upgrade your iPhone or Android device? Get a new MacBook, grab a PlayStation, or refresh your home with quality appliances? This is the perfect time for you to shop and save. Visit Sinclair Tech today and take advantage of our special World Cup discount sales, quality products, unbeatable prices, and great customer service all in one place. Visit them today at Asalibotre, close to School Junction, or you can just type Sinclair Tech on Google Maps and it will take you right there. You can give them a call or send them a WhatsApp message on 0549 462 550. 0549 462 550. You can follow them on social media at Sinclair Tech _. Sinclair Tech is spelled SINCLEARTECH _. Follow them on social media for more updates. Sinclair Tech, your trusted destination for technology and electronics. Sinclair Tech, elevate your life. Well, join football icon Asamoah Gyan for an exclusive book and jersey signing at the prestigious Idea Gala and After Party in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Grab your signed copy of Legendary, receive an autographed jersey, take memorable photos with the legend, and enjoy an unforgettable evening of networking, entertainment, and celebration. Live performances by Samini and Kwabna. Love Caters All. It will be happening at the Love Caters All event venue inside Atlantic City, New Jersey. And the event is slated for today, June 19, 2026. And the event would start at 5 p.m. to 12 midnight. don't miss the unique opportunity to connect with one of Africa's greatest football legends. So, Nathan, the meet and greet will be happening today at the Love Caters All Event Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So 5 p.m. to 12 midnight, that's when this event will be happening. I get a chance to catch up with legendary Asamoah Gyan and have some fun. That will be happening later today. But Nathan, like I promised, I have a problem today. It's 8:03. It's 8:03.
I thought you were not going to do this.
It's 8:03, and it's time for problem of the day.
Hello, Dosh. The problem. Problem. Yo, we be the problem. Same time we be solution. So anytime we the cause, no say we be solution. One man, one car, she move him get the bang. So anytime we the on, no say we be the problem song. Problem song. Problem song. Same time we be solution. The problem song. Problem song. I won't go problem song. Same time we be solution. Dorman. There. You mo yo na hon. No amo ku kekenye ke mo gba wani. You money feel. When she machine na nya ka. Ele. Claim o coupon. No tu mi ole akose ko adi don bani. Hon.
I have serious concerns about how Jordan Ayew, the captain of the senior national team, the Black Stars, is being disrespected, has been disrespected, is constantly under attack from the good people of Ghana, or some Ghanaians. Let me put it that way. The disrespect must stop. Let us stop disrespecting Jordan Ayew. It's too much. You see, Nathan, we are at the World Cup today because of Jordan Ayew's contribution to this team. We are at the World Cup today because of Jordan Ayew's 14 goals contribution. And when I talk about 14 goals contribution, it's goals and assists. It was 7 apiece. 7 goals, 7 assists during the qualifiers. Thanks to Jordan's brilliance, the 23 goals we scored in the run-up to the World Cup, he contributed 14. He made 14 crucial contributions in terms of goals and assists.
Okay.
14 interventions in terms of goals and assists. Okay? That is the player we are talking about. Jordan Ayew led this team to the World Cup against all odds. When all of us thought, after a symbolic AFCON qualification series, hope was lost, Jordan galvanized his team, led the team to the World Cup. That is Jordan Ayew. When Jordan was scoring goals, providing assists during the qualifiers, playing the same way we know him to play, we were singing his praises. Some of us even compared him to the likes of Lionel Messi.
Who did it?
Oh, there were statistics during the qualifiers that in terms of goals and assists, he had outdone Messi and co. True or false? Or he was there and about with Messi and the likes.
I think I saw something like that.
That was Jordan Ayew during the qualifiers. Nobody disrespected Jordan Ayew. Nobody told us that Jordan Ayew at the time didn't know how to play football. Nobody at the time told us that Jordan Ayew doesn't start at Leicester City and so he's not a good player. Nobody told us that. Look, we must understand one thing. Jordan Ayew, as captain of the team, embodies the soul and spirit of the team. He wears the crown as captain of this team. He carries the nation's expectations and hope. And we understand that the good people of Ghana would be expecting so much from him. Yes. But we must again understand that this game is a team sport. All the other parts would have to come together, dovetail perfectly, for you to have a well-oiled, a well-functioning team. We cannot go and play a game against Panama. A game where almost all the players fail to glitter. And then single out Jordan Ayew for criticism. Single out Jordan Ayew for insults, for abuse. Single out Jordan Ayew for all sorts of attacks. To the extent that even his family is being attacked.
The voice of sport.
To the extent that he's been called all sorts of names. Look, Jordan Ayew didn't get into the Black Stars by virtue of the fact that his father is an ex-player. He got into the Black Stars on the back of solid performances for club. And ever since he joined the Black Stars, he's put in the work. And Nathan, the boy is close to 121 caps, right?
Yep.
Scored 34 goals.
He has over 100 caps.
Yeah, he has over 100 caps. We've had different coaches take this Black Stars team. And all the coaches found a way to keep Jordan in their team. So, from who? Kwesi Appiah. To Sike Akuno. To Chris Hutton.
Yeah.
Every coach, Milovan Rajevac, part 2, he came. Every coach has found a way to keep Jordan in their teams. Otto Addo. And he's not been in the team by virtue of the fact that he's an Ayew. He's been in the team by virtue of the fact that he's a quality player. We've seen him score goals for Ghana. We've seen him play. And we've seen Jordan play the same way. Ball carrier, ball progressor, set piece, dead balls. That is how he's played. He's not been the quickest. He's never. Jordan Ayew has never been an in the team. He's never been a. So what is your problem? Look, in a game against Panama, where nobody can tell me that there was a particular player who scored 10 over 10. Why should we single out Jordan Ayew for blame, for criticism? All this noise we are making. Why should we single out Jordan Ayew? Nathan, why should we single out Jordan Ayew for all this, this abuse online? Why? I think that, look, we should respect Jordan Ayew and what he's done for Ghana. If we do not have any thanks to give him, let us not disrespect him in this manner. If we don't have any praises to sing of Jordan Ayew, let us keep quiet. But let us not try to run the player down the way we are doing. But for his mental toughness, all the abuse he has suffered playing for Ghana, I am sure this player would have decided to stop playing for Ghana long ago. But the player is mentally tough to the extent that despite all the things he's dealt with as a Black Stars player, he continues to make himself available for the national team. In this game against Panama, if you are concerned about Jordan playing 87 minutes, somebody is sitting on the bench taking lots of money to make a decision as to who plays and who doesn't play. The coach felt that in that game, Jordan Ayew was delivering his tactical instructions or was performing the role he wanted him to perform and left him on the pitch. What is your problem? You and I, what is our problem? If Carlos Queiroz allowed him to play 87 minutes, ask the man to take the decisions, ask the man paying attention to everything that is happening on the pitch, marking his players based on what he asked them to go and do. If the man is delivering for the coach, what is my business? Coming to suggest to coach that he should have taken a player out. Of course, he started doing the substitutions very early. If he felt the need, if he, Carlos Queiroz, felt the need to take Jordan off, he would have. So why? So now we've turned ourselves into coaches. Now telling Carlos Queiroz when to effect substitutions, when to take certain players out of the team. You see, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Jordan is Ghana's oldest player at the World Cup, and he's there for a reason. He's in the team for a reason. He's playing roles for the coach based on what the coach has seen him do in the past, and based on what the coach has seen him do in training, and based on the fact that the coach knows that this is my captain, and this is the player who must lead this team. How many captains haven't you had for Black Stars? How many captains have qualified us to the World Cup? How many? Stephen Appiah and who? And Dede and who? And Stephen Appiah and Stephen Appiah.
But Jan was captain when we qualified, right? 2014.
No, 2014.
Yeah,
World
Jan
Cup.
was captain.
Yeah,
Jan wore the band.
Yes, he wore the band. But how many? How many captains? We've had so many captains. How many of them have taken us to the World Cup? Put some respect on the name Jordan. Let's respect Jordan and you. You see, when we do things like this, all of us will go back to that Panama game and produce a list of the players who didn't perform.
Really?
No, Nathan, wait. We'll go back to that Panama game and start mentioning players who failed to glitter, players who failed to perform, but were given Man of the Man awards, players who flattered to deceive. We all saw them. Nathan, what did Kamadin play? What did Nyama play? What did Semenyo play? Okay? Those were offensive players. No, in fact, what did they do in that game that was so defining all through the 90 minutes, apart from that goal we scored? What happened? So, you see, let's not do this. If the entire team didn't work well to deliver the kind of performances we were looking for, let us talk about the team. Mention names, criticize who we want to criticize in a very respectful way, in a constructive way. But let us not resort to abuse. Let us not resort to disrespect, almost as if the player has never been good for Ghana and doesn't even deserve to wear the Ghana shirt. Let's not do that. And that's what I'm saying. The disrespect that we've meted out to Jordan Ayew, let's stop it. He doesn't deserve that. All he wants to do, Nathan, so you're telling me Jordan goes into games to play in a way that Ghana would lose?
I don't think
Or to play in a way that Ghana will not win games?
No. I mean, the win matters a lot to these guys. So I won't say that he wants Ghana to lose.
Let's not do these things.
But you see, all I will say is this. I get your point on the abuse. And I think that, as I said, I've seen some of the comments, and some of the comments are way, way, way over the top, right? People suggesting that, the in the team or Jordan makes the team because of his dad. I think those things are unfair and they are over the top. So if I were you, I won't pay attention to any of that, right? I won't pay attention to any of those comments. I think that the larger Ghanaian football populace wants the team to do well, right? We all want the same thing. We all want the team to do well. So people will obviously look at certain players. Look, everybody views the game differently. Ray, do you understand? For somebody, somebody wants to see somebody running up the pitch, sweating up and down. That is somebody's definition of hard work. Somebody's definition of hard work is different. The coach who is on the touchline sees things very differently. And you've brilliantly highlighted that coaches ask players to do certain jobs. And it is a culmination of 11 different jobs that will produce a result. So I agree with you on the principle of Carlos Queiroz gives Jordan a start, right? And Jordan has a certain role. If he's not done with his work, Carlos Queiroz is not taking him out. Absolutely. I agree. But on the flip side, and I said it earlier, you also have to admit that as the Ghana-Panama game wore on and the game started to get a bit more transitional, the team would have needed something different. And I don't think Jordan has what it takes to play in a transitional game.
That is why you are not the coach.
No problem.
That is why you are not Carlos Queiroz.
So I am stating my opinion just by looking at. Relax.
You see, we are behind the microphone.
Just relax.
But that decision to look at Jordan and say he can't play in this system.
No problem. It is down to Carlos Queiroz.
Big backs earning Carlos Queiroz.
That is no problem. So I'm here just stating my opinion and what I think. Just looking at the player, his attributes, pluses and negatives versus what I think this team can do. So Carlos Queiroz will make the decision. Ultimately, I always tell people, it comes down to the coach's call. We will all have an opinion. But I think it ends at that. As for extending it to insults and abuse, is needless.
No.
So I agree with you on that point. That is extremely needless. Why would you want to abuse a player because he didn't meet your expectation? We all have expectations of players. The players have expectations of themselves.
Absolutely.
So if you think a player hasn't performed well, granted. But on the flip side, you never know what Carlos Queiroz has asked somebody to do.
You see, Nathan, let people understand that. But for Jordan and you, we wouldn't have been at this World Cup.
Fair point.
This World Cup that we are here celebrating, Ghana is at the World Cup, celebrating wins over Panama and co. But for Jordan and you, we wouldn't have been here. When Jordan and you went to war in Bamako, do you remember that Eric Shell game?
Yeah. Even
when we played Mali.
I was in Japan.
He went to war in Bamako. It was Jordan Ayew. Imota, correct me if I'm wrong.
It was Jordan Ayew who won the game.
Jordan Ayew was deciding crucial games.
But that game, he didn't start, did he?
Yes.
That game, he didn't start. I remember.
He came in.
He came off the bench. Of course, Jordan played a critical role in.
But for Jordan Ayew, we wouldn't have been at this World Cup. Let's respect the guy.
He contributed 7 goals.
Let us respect the player. I've seen all sorts of stats, and he lost 21. But look, Jordan was not the only player on the pitch.
True.
And all of us would admit, all of us around this table will admit that we didn't have a good game. No player had a good game.
True.
Persemenyo standards.
No,
is that his best game?
No, he didn't have a good game.
Penuame's game we saw against Wales. Was that it?
That was underwhelming.
We know what Kamaldeen Sulemana can do. Is that what we saw?
No.
No, come on, let's not do this. Let's not do this. You see, I am against singling out Jordan Ayew and lambasting him all over the place.
Okay, fair point.
Let me go and hear something. Nathan, listen to something.
Do you think Ghana can win the World Cup?
I don't think so.
Why?
We don't use Jordan Ayew to win World Cup.
Look. Why?
Ray,
why?
Relax.
What is this?
Ray,
what is this?
Ray, listen.
No, you can't use this World Cup that we have gone to.
I keep telling you.
Because of Jordan Ayew, we are there.
I keep telling you that.
We are there because of Jordan.
Why are you even paying heed to some of these comments?
No, you see, these players.
Erando has been stopped in the street.
No, Nathan,
and the player has been. This person has been asked a question. Why are you?
No, you see, Nathan,
tearing your hair out?
Nathan, I am concerned because look, yesterday, everything on social media was about Jordan Ayew.
Right.
What Jordan Ayew didn't do. Nobody even mentioned any good thing Jordan did in the game. Now people are even questioning why he was supposed to come and take set pieces, why a striker is taking set pieces, why he's not in the box scoring.
I keep telling you, do not fuss yourself over some of these comments.
No, the disrespect is too much. And some of us must stand up for players like Jordan. Tomorrow will be another player. Tomorrow, the UNC we are hailing today.
He could have a bad game. And people will come after him. And will stand up for him too.
Look, you see, and when you put do these things, who ask you? The UNC you are celebrating today, that suddenly is even a better player than all the players in the team. Where was he during the qualifiers? Okay, where was he? Brandon Thomas Asante. During the qualifiers, when we were going to war in Bamako, when we were going to play in Chad and co. When we're moving to Morocco, when we're playing Central African Republic and the likes, where were they?
No, but Ray, again.
No, what I'm saying is that look, Ray, you see, if you go on this tangent,
Ray, if you say it that way, you make it look like they were asked to show up and they didn't show up.
No, I'm saying
they were simply not called.
Very good, but somebody was called, carried the team on his shoulders, took us to the World Cup. By virtue of that, we've brought in some of these players to come and beef up the squad. You cannot disrespect Jordan because we've seen new boys. And suddenly the new boys should be the ones we hail, and then we run down the old boys who got us there. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I agree with you.
My sermon is over, but let's take our time.
Same time we the solution. The problem song. Palmer them, buy a palmer them. Upness, shit.
Yeah, Nathan, coach is getting ready. Yes, coach is getting ready to bring us a few, reactions from yesterday's game. There's still a lot that we have to talk about concerning the Black Stars and their performance. I think that today, coach would attempt to get into a lot more of the problems with the team. He's identified a lot of problems that we have to find a way to address. Okay, so I'm told we have a few messages. Well, keep your messages coming. 0542571061, 0542571061. Share your thoughts with us on the show, and we'll be glad to share your thoughts with the rest
before we do anything, I think that we have to wish our colleague, the General Kosifiaka, a happy birthday. Today is Kosifiaka's birthday,
and today is Friday.
Hey, everybody, yay! Imo, what Imo? Immortal, today is Friday, and it is Kosifiaka's baby.
We have a problem on our hands.
What? Is what?
We have a problem on our hands.
I can't hear you.
We have a problem on our hands.
Kosifiaka, today is Friday,
yes,
and it is your birthday.
Yes. Oh, the General. Charlie, happy birthday, my brother. General,
bro, enjoy the day.
General is, one guy who, I mean, when you get close to General, you know that yes, this is the guy.
Kosifiaka he's a good guy.
Yes.
Kosifiaka knows his stuff. He's a marketing champion.
The devil is in the detail.
The devil there is in the detail. Papa. Kosifiaka, hey, today is Friday. And it's your birthday.
Yes.
Today you have license.
Yeah, to sport day.
Yeah, because it's not your birthday, sir, if you sport day already.
Yeah, and it's a
will be your birthday on a Friday.
Yeah, Charlie.
Hi. Today, because he's not listening to any advice.
God bless you, Kosifiaka.
Because happy birthday to you. We wish you the very best. Guy. Keep being amazing. Keep being solid. May the next year bring you good health and big opportunities and more money. And remember your brothers. Anyway, let me read this one. Michael Boatin from Sunyai disagrees with you.
He says what?
He's saying that, are you saying we disrespect Jordan? Just be honest and analyze these images. The images too, they haven't opened. He says Jordan is not a team player. He says Jordan plays for himself.
He plays for himself.
As to how he decided that, I don't know. He said that he's asking a question. How come Leicester City fans were happy that the club didn't extend his stay?
Some Man United fans were happy when Ronaldo was leaving. Okay. I mean, it happens. Nathan, not every player who plays for a club is loved. There are Man City fans who don't like Semenyo, true of us. There are Man City fans who don't
I'm sure there are Man City fans who don't.
There are Man City fans who don't like Haaland. So, the day Haaland leaves, they'll celebrate. It happens. I mean, club football, fans have their own interests. Fans have their own players they like. But you can't say Leicester City fans don't like him because he's a bad player. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player at all. And you see, this team player talk. The 7 assists he provided, did he provide it for animals to go and score?
Oh, take it easy.
No.
I keep telling you, Ray, take it easy. I beg you.
Didn't he provide assists for his teammates to score?
It is true.
So why is that he's not a team player matter?
Take it easy. You drink water.
No, this Jordan are you matter.
I beg you, you drink water first. Because if we are not careful, you do some drink water.
Messages coming. If you disagree with me, feel free. Bring the job. Let's go. Nathan, a few more messages in there. If you disagree with me on this Jordan Ayew position and you feel that we should continue disrespecting Jordan, come and share your message with us. 0542 571061. 0542 571061. You see, Nathan, I feel sad for the Ayew brothers.
Why?
Or the whole Ayew family.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've done. You see, I don't know what they've done to hurt people. I don't know what it is that they've done. But all I know is these boys have just worn the shirt to honor the shirt.
Yeah.
These boys have given it their all, given Black Stars, given the national teams they play their all, just to serve the nation.
I agree.
I don't think they deserve some of the things
they do get a lot of stick.
They don't deserve what we do to
They
them.
get a lot of stick.
They don't deserve.
They get a lot of. Sometimes I think some of it is over the top.
Yeah, they don't
Look,
deserve.
we all criticize players.
Of course.
Players will have bad games. Players themselves know when they play poorly. So when people say that they don't do well. A lot of players understand that Charlie today, Charlie.
Yeah, even the player will go to the restaurant and say, "Oh, Charlie, today I didn't have a good game." They know,
no good. But some of the things we get
the level we take this to
sometimes is unfair. All right, let me read this one. My namesake, Nathan from Kaswa, says, I always respect Jordan and his brother for their commitment, and I don't support any form of abuse against them. Yeah, he scored a lot, but he had other team members assisting those goals. It was all, they were not all solo efforts. I think the coaches should also take a portion of the blame, because what instructions do they give Jordan as a striker? My issue with Jordan is the fact that as a striker, he's almost always dropping deep to take the ball. Then the wingers and attacking midfielders move into space for an attack into the opponent's box. Then you see Jordan holding onto the ball for too long to disrupt the flow. He's not getting any younger. He should focus on being in and around the box always. As for the England game, I agree with Ray. We should focus on the number of goals we should or shouldn't concede.
No, you see, Nathan, when you say Jordan is that kind of player. Jordan is not your fox in the box. That is not how he plays. That is not his style.
Yeah.
He can't be that player.
Okay, but Ray, you see, this is my counterpoint. Ray, so do you agree largely with... Do you get the points the texter is making about sometimes Jordan disrupting the flow?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Look, there was this move where Semenyo gave him a pass in the Panama game. And Semenyo made the run into a channel.
Yeah.
And was expecting Jordan to release the ball.
Yeah.
Now, when Jordan looked up, he saw Semenyo and Semenyo's support far off. Okay. Now, when Jordan had the ball, he attracted as many as 3 Panamanian defenders to himself. So all he was trying to do was to draw them, find a space to now lay a better pass to Semenyo. Did
he give the pass?
I mean, he was dispossessed. You understand? But if you try to see what he was trying to do, he was trying to draw most of them, find a better space where Semenyo will be very well isolated, where he'll get more support in the box before he gives them the pass.
I understand the principle of what
these
you are
saying. These are decisions you take on the pitch.
Okay, but Ray,
hindsight
is always 2020.
Of course, hindsight will come back and say, "Oh, he should have done this."
No problem. But Ray, again, I'll give you. There was when we played Austria, right? I think there was a certain sequence where the team was on the break, right? And I remember Jordan getting the ball somewhere in the center circle. Players had run it. There was ample space for a pass, and I think he turned and then passed the ball backwards, right? So, for example, Ray, in such a situation, you'd have to ask yourself, okay, why not hit the forward pass? Because your players are in space. I think it was a 3v2 in space, and there are times when I agree. Sometimes Jordan would bring the ball into a different part because that is that decision. Yeah, there's no space. But for example, in the example I'm giving you, there was space, and he still didn't make the pass.
You know, Nathan, that's what I'm saying. Creative players like that would always do things that, I mean, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, but you see,
the biggest is one of the players who would give you the assists, give you complicated passes. You know,
yeah, but there are times when
he also does things and you go like, oh.
There are times when
but it doesn't mean he's a bad player.
No, I'm not saying, look, Ray, most 7 times out of 10, if Bruno Fernandes sees the pass, he gives it.
Yeah. So if Jordan doesn't see the pass, you give.
But and I agree with the texter. I think Jordan, more often than not, would not give the pass we all think he must give because it looks like the most obvious pass. That is my criticism.
But he on the pitch would also look at other factors.
He on the pitch may make a different decision.
You see, when coach comes, the first thing I want coach to touch on is Jordan.
No problem.
I want coach to help me understand.
Yes, but you also cannot say
his role in the team.
It is true. But you also cannot say that sometimes what we all see is not far from the truth. Ray, there are certain passes when we are watching. You and I see that this is an obvious pass, and the player makes the pass. Is that not true?
True.
Yes. So if people say that Jordan doesn't give the ball up on time, there is when he can be justified. And when he explains to us in hindsight, we'll understand. We've not had that chance for that explanation. But there are days when you think the one-touch pass is what works. And sometimes people could be right that the one-touch pass can create high-value chances than when you hold on and you waste an extra 10 seconds because in your mind you think the other pass is the wiser one. I think those two truths can coexist. But I'm with you on the abuse part, which is unfair.
Very, very.
Let me go through more messages.
Yes.
This one says from the name didn't come. Eddie from Spintex. Okay.
Yeah.
Says, I agree with you, Raymond. From the first day we appointed Carlos Queiroz, I expected us to dominate.
Not to dominate. Yeah.
Okay, not to dominate, but rather be defensive. That is very understandable.
Yeah.
Carlos Queiroz, really, that's his profile. Yeah. So we'll back off teams a lot and try to hit them on the break. Fair point. Eddie, good observation.
So there are a few more messages, but you can keep your messages coming. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Later on in the show, we'll open the phone lines for you to share your thoughts with us. I know a lot of you are itching to talk about Jordan and you, but I won't open the phone lines now.
Somebody has sent me a message. Says, tell Ray that what people are doing is sharing of opinions, so please take it easy.
Sharing opinion, you're insulting the player. No, you can share opinion without insulting.
I mean, I'm saying, as for the insult part, no.
Calling all sorts of names and all. I mean, it's just not fair. It's not fair. These players, they have families. So these players, Nathan. So which player actually goes onto the pitch?
Mm-hmm.
That this game that he's coming to play, he wants to disgrace his nation and disgrace himself.
No.
Which player sets out to do that? Or when Panama came, they didn't come with a plan to stop our best players from playing their good game. Nathan, when we play against England, what will be our plan? To stop Harry Kane from having a good game.
Yeah, that is
true
true.
Of us.
That is true.
So if Harry Kane is dealt with very well, by Partey and Jerome and Co. Should I now come and abuse Harry Kane and call him all sorts of names and say he's a bad player, no? Simply because somebody has put up a strategy to make sure he doesn't have a good game. No. Let's not do that. Nathan, we have a few more messages. Let's read a few more messages and then.
Yes, people can send us their messages 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. You can get in touch with us and talk about the World Cup. Ray, we are doing this with a number of partners, right?
Yes.
Coca-Cola, Pepsodent, Club Beer. So Coca-Cola is saying they have the new Fill It All campaign. Club Beer, cheers to our Charlie. Pepsodent is saying, remember to do the 2, brush morning and night. Hamdi Farms, they are the people doing the great mango things. From farm to table, Ghana's mango elevated. And the European Union, they support community engagement and youth participation through sports.
Yeah. So, Nathan, let's take this and then we invite Coach to bring us, bring us up to speed on everything that's happening.
All right. Immortal says we have a couple of messages. Let's take that and then we take a word from our partners.
Right.
This one says, Ray, keep firing. This nonsense must stop. How I wish I'm online just like you. And Kauja. It came from Nana Onobo. This one says, Justice from Takrade says that I disagree with Ray's assertions. And so we should not criticize a player who we are using our taxes to pay. I've lived to see the likes of Messi and Ronaldo being chastised and criticized constructively for their abysmal performance.
He said constructively.
So Justice, so you've operational word, constructively. Ray is talking about the abuse.
Yes.
We are not saying nobody is above criticism.
No.
Nobody. But Ray is saying that the abuse is what he's talking about, not the fact that nobody, right?
Yeah, nobody's above criticism.
It's like, look, Justice, it's like I don't know what you do, but it's like you do your work. And because, let's say, in the line of work today, you produce a 6/10 performance, and then somebody insults your family.
Yeah.
I mean, is that fair? That's not fair.
No. You see, I have a message here.
Yeah.
This one is coming from the birthday boy, General Fiaka.
Yeah.
He says Jordan and Kamaldeen should not come anywhere near the starting 11. They can assist from the bench. You see, that's his opinion.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean,
he's not insulted anybody.
Yeah.
He's not attacked anybody. He's just saying, okay, he feels they shouldn't come near the team. Fine, fair enough. You see, if you can disagree with the coach's decisions, fair. But you see, the abuse, disrespecting the player, calling him all sorts of names, questioning his career as a Black Stars player, Charlie, that boy do something before. Nathan, there's this thing they say. Immortal, help me. Only Shabema was here. Men born chrono. Not so. Yes. Nathan, today, man, this thing come. Coach Kwabena Danso is in the building, but let's take a word from our sponsors. And then
Okay. Ernest from McCarthy who says, as for the Jordan issue, I blame some of the journalists to calling players' name, and it's not just him. If names like Billboard player, Charlie.
Oh yeah, no, you see, yeah. Oh, Nathan.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree with him.
That is true.
I agree with
that
him.
Is true.
Yeah, I agree with him.
True.
Sometimes our commentary fuels some of the reactions we see online.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, it's something, and maybe one day I'll dig into it as like a research topic.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know that a lot of people seem to take like opinions of journalists to be very sacrosanct?
Yes.
So, for example, somebody listens to a journalist, right? The person may not have had an opinion already, but whatever they say almost like becomes the person's opinion. So they take that opinion and then they run with it, not having experienced anything for themselves, not having done any research, not having done their own work to see whether that opinion is true or not.
Yeah.
All right. This one says, I can't seem to wrap my head around why many Ghanaians want to chastise Jordan after every game. Fairly, they can call out players if they don't perform well. Nonetheless, that alone can't be used as the yardstick to discredit his enormous contribution to the Black Stars. In my view, the biggest responsibility is on the coach to use him properly in terms of role and playing time, so that the disrespect is zero or minimal.
Absolutely.
Lexis from University of Ghana. Greetings to my brother, Coach Dan. So
yeah, and I agree with him.
This one says, Wonders from Pando says the insult on Jordan is too much. Ray, big up.
Thank you.
All right. This one says, I agree with you. The attacks on Jordan are too much. Sports Messiah from Amasaman Fise. I hope I got that.
I do know Fise. Fise is on the road.
It's on the road.
Fise.
Okay.
I'll take you to Fise.
James in Patase says, people are right to criticize, but when it turns to personal abuse, we must draw the line.
Yeah.
Uncle Ray, just take it easy. I told you to take it easy.
Oh no, you see, the matter hit me.
This one says, aside the insults, whatever everybody says about Jordan is okay. So what have people said about Jordan?
See, you know, Nathan, we easily forget to.
Anyway,
when we're singing Jordan's praises post qualification to the World Cup.
Yeah. That's why I keep telling you that football fans can be fickle sometimes.
Finish this message.
Let's move on. Let's move to the next one.
Next one.
Let's move to the next one.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Nathan, read this one.
This one says
read this one.
Getting out of touch with the team. He's always stopping the flow of the game. He should play 45 minutes maximum.
Read the last line.
I can't because it's bad. Ray, I won't encourage these comments.
These are the things that we say.
That's a comment I won't do.
This. Don't do that.
Yeah. This one says, let's call a spade a spade. Our country's money is involved. We can disagree, but let us not rubbish the views of others on the performance of the Black Stars. Nobody's rubbishing any other person's opinion. Whoever the texter is. We are saying that it is the abuse. The abuse is what we are talking about.
You see, Nathan, you read this final one.
All right, Kweku from Bournemouth. Kweku, how are you doing? It says, I really like Jordan. Maybe he was just following the coach's instructions.
Simple.
If he starts against England, then clearly he didn't do anything wrong. His performance wasn't that bad at all, in my opinion. Ghanaians talk a lot. Let's celebrate the win and leave Jordan alone.
Oh.
Anyway. Okay. Kobe from Takwa says his issue with Jordan is that he's partly the reason why we can't press as a unit. To be fair, I kind of agree. I thought our pressing in the first half was very haphazard. And I don't know what it was, whether players were struggling with instructions.
Coach can explain. No, he highlighted it yesterday.
Okay, I missed out on that.
We struggle with the press.
With the press, okay.
You understand. But again, it was not
a Jordan issue. Yes, it was a system problem.
It was not a Jordan issue. In fact, if you even pay attention to the stats, defensively, Jordan was in a lot of duels.
In the game yesterday, I don't know if I'm invited.
Yeah, okay, coach. Yeah, coach.
In the game yesterday, in terms of pressing, Jordan was Ghana's best player.
Yes.
And the stats prove that. There are other areas where, yes, it wasn't the best from Jordan.
Yeah.
But in terms of pressing,
when we look at just pressing alone,
he was Ghana's best player. And today, we will do a statistical analysis of Ghana against Panama.
Fantastic.
You see, yesterday was a tactical analysis.
Yeah.
Today will be a statistical analysis. And when I run us through the stats, there are some areas where I think that he could have done better. But in terms of pressing, he was the best in the Ghana team.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
see
think that-
before anybody questions who we have in studio, Coach Kwabena Danso is a seasoned video analyst, a top video analyst. He's a CAF licensee coach and a professional teacher. So when coach is speaking, coach knows his onions. He knows what he's saying. He's analyzed this game with the eyes that Nathan and I didn't use to analyze the game. So that is coach. So coach will join us in a bit for the full discussion on the statistical analysis of the Black Stars' performance against Panama. Nathan, one final message and then we go.
This one, okay, we've done Kobe.
Yeah, I think
Eugene from Sunyai says
Okay.
Jordan was good at holding the ball at some point, and when he went for aerial duels. At a point in the Panama game, I was asking if the players were aware of the time we watched the game. Seeing good football from them and having a goal was necessary for us, the fans. So we begged Jordan to release the ball or try to score. He should look at the goal.
Right. But Nathan, let's get into the discussion, and I think coach is all mic'd up and ready to take us through what to expect in terms of his analysis for today. He's already given us a hint of what we should look forward to. Nathan, one final message, and then you would.
Okay, Eugene from Sunyai came.
No,
okay,
yeah.
you've done
So
that already.
yeah. So I think that's one.
Okay, Nathan from Kaswa is back. He says people argue that Brandon Thomas Asante should start ahead of Jordan. That is fine, and it is the coach's call to make. But for all we know, Brandon might be a woeful starter, but he's a super sub in the national team. Hold on. Go, Immortal. No, give me that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So
There's one I want us to.
Oh, okay.
You see, there's one I want us to go after.
Okay.
Immortal, go to the very, very, very top.
Nathan, you've seen something I've not seen. Okay. So he said, Nathan, what's the text I say?
I find it really interesting, and when people go down this route, listen to this message. It says, I like how you guys are defending Jordan. I will be there when he costs us a match with the way he plays. That is arrant nonsense. Wait, let's proceed. That is all I was. It is arrant nonsense, blatant nonsense. Let's go.
Defending Jordan.
Ray, let us move on to the next segment.
You're live on Sporty Breakfast, Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Nathan, we've seen lots of messages from Sunyani, from
Shout out to everybody who's
shout out
listening to us from Sunyani, Takwa, Bando,
Yeah, big shout out
from
to you
the
guys.
north. I love the fact that we get all kinds of calls
Sporty FM is all over the
and
country.
messages. Great stuff. Wonderful. Keep listening to Sporty. We are the voice. We are the voice of sport. Ghana's biggest sports station. Wonderful stuff. Earlier, I saw a message. The parents says Pepsi should pay us more money. No, but I mean that's the truth. It's not like the truth is that we actually use it. So it's wonderful.
We gotta
you
get
should
more
use
cash.
it too.
Yeah.
Let's proceed.
Now, Coach is here with us. Coach, let me welcome you. Coach, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Thank you, Raymond. Good morning. once again.
Great. Now, Coach, before you get into what you have for us today, take us through this. Jordan Ayew and his role in the national team. What position best suits Jordan? What role does he play in the team? What job does he do? What is his best position? Why is he important? Or why is he not important in the team?
Okay, thank you, Ray. Now, it depends a lot on how the coach wants to, set up his team. Now, for a country like Ghana under Carlos Queiroz, we are a transitional team. So most of the time, we will suffer. We will soak up the pressure. We are going to defend, and then we are going to hit you on the break. It means that with that, Jordan will not suit playing as our winger. Because from the transitional game, you need, pacey wingers. And for Jordan, we know that in terms of pace, it's not his best attribute. So we cannot use you on either flanks as our winger under Carlos Queiroz. Now, with how we play, it means that we are defending a lot. And most of the time, whether in a low block, mid block, or even in a high, we are defending a lot. So you need a front two who will help you in pressing. And as I said, per the stats in the Ghana against Panama game, Jordan was Ghana's best player in pressing. So that means that if he can help us with pressing, then we can include him in our front two. So with that, it means that whenever we are defending, he will be our first line of pressing. And in football, you call that the first defender, the defender closest to the ball. So is termed as the first defender. So whenever the opponent has the ball in a front two, Jordan can help us, especially with his pressing ability. Again, in the qualifiers, as you rightfully said, he really helped us in terms of goals and then assists. So he's one player on any good day he can.
So during the qualifiers,
yeah.
What role was he playing?
You see, during most of the time up front, in maybe alone or with someone. Okay. But in the qualifiers, he really helped us in a lot of ways. The first one was set pieces. Now you see, since Ghana were defending a lot against Panama, we could not really see much of them. But Raymond, in the Ghana team, we rely a lot on set pieces. And if you analyze some of the assists that Jordan did, especially in the qualifiers, most of them came from set pieces. And in the Ghana team today, in terms of set pieces, to me, if not the best, he's one of the best in the team. And for such a player, of course, you are going to need him because of his ability with regards to the set pieces. And I've told you how he helps us a lot when it comes to pressing. So I think that with these two areas, definitely we are going to need Jordan. I agree with those who say Jordan is an important player for Ghana. Yes, he's very, very important. We will need him. If we can, make a mark at this World Cup, we will need him. Just that at times, to me, I think that we are overly critical on Jordan. At times, we are overly critical on Jordan. Yes, you see, there are games where he statistically should not have, played 90 minutes because there were moments where, maybe by 60 minutes, all the things that we wanted from him, he had done it. So from that moment, you can, make a change and then bring on a different player, as we saw against Panama. But to say that Jordan is not important for this Ghana team, no, that is wrong. Again, there's one thing about Jordan that I never knew: his leadership ability. You see, many people underrate that. But in a game of football, you need leaders. People do not really rate Jordan in terms of his leadership ability. But I saw him just before the Ghana-Panama game in a video, speaking to the president. Yeah. And how Jordan spoke, the maturity with which he used, to speak. And even after the game, how he spoke about Calibrianti tells me how good a leader that he is. And for these things, you didn't get any metrics to, measure it, that this is his leadership qualities. No, you don't get any metrics. But they are the intangibles that in football you are always going to need. Yeah. So for me, to say Jordan is not important to the Black Stars team is wrong, 100%. He is very, very much important. Just like Ronaldo, he's important. Just that at some point, he must be, taken off for a different player to replace him. But that doesn't mean he's not important. He's very important for the Black Stars. Right,
Coach. What do you have for us today? Give us, just
yeah, sure. So today we are going to look at penetrative possession. Okay. And then a statistical breakdown of the Black Stars, Ghana against Panama. Now the first thing is after the first round of games in this World Cup, after the first round of games, I have chanced on a document which speaks about penetrative possession, and I would want to analyze it with respect to the first round of games. Then from there we move to Ghana against Panama, the statistical breakdown. Yesterday we gave our listeners and then our viewers the tactical breakdown. Today we give them the statistical breakdown.
Right, Coach. Nathan, before Coach comes in, I'm sure we are all clear on the Jordan Ayew and his role. And I think Coach has at least given us.
I mean, his importance is there, and he's also touched on a point I made about, when there's an assessment that the player has ticked all his boxes and there's the need for something else, if he has to go off, he should go off. It's the same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo, as we were saying earlier. Players can get their job done in 20 minutes. If after 20 minutes, every other thing is negative, take him out. You see, because ultimately, every coach wants his team to win. So he will take a decision that allows the team to win. If that decision means a player stays on, he stays on. If that decision means a player goes off, the player goes. And footballers understand these things. So I don't expect any coach to be shy or be afraid of making the call if it will lead to success. If it will be counterproductive, don't make it.
You know, if I had gotten the chance to be in that press conference, that's the question I would have asked Carlos Queiroz. You know, when he say, "Well, you kept Jordan on for too long."
Yes.
Just
so
like,
you just want to know.
We just want to
why
know
did you keep him on? Was
and,
there a reason?
And his
why
explanation, I'm sure that question should definitely come up before the
somebody
England
has
game.
to ask that question,
because I mean, he would have to tell us. And I mean, of course, he sees a lot of things standing where he stands, and his analysts would also be seeing a lot of things, and they would obviously, tell him, well, I think it's time to do a change, But, well, we'll see. This is still Sporty Breakfast, and Coach Kwabena Danso is here with us. We'll be talking about the games that were played yesterday, the games that will be played this weekend, and, of course, we'll get into a bit of, Black Stars issues, and then we'll also look at a few matters concerning the first round of games. And just like Coach said, he'll be delivering a piece on possession. Yes, penetrative possession. So, Coach, you have the floor.
Yeah, Raymond, thank you. So after the first round of games, there's this topic that I would like to, touch on and then explain. It's called the penetrative possession. Now, before we get into this particular topic, let's look at something in maths, because we are going to use maths to analyze this. Yes. Now, Raymond, in maths, in plane geometry, we have what we call the quadrants. So if you are joining the feed, we are going to explain it for us to really understand it. We have what we call the quadrants. So with this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and then the fourth quadrant. Now, those figures here are usually positive numbers, because this is the y-axis, and then this is the x-axis. Right. The figures here at the x-axis is positive, the y-axis is positive. So we have two pluses here, plus and then plus. For the figures here, the x-axis is negative, and then the y-axis is positive. So at the second quadrant, the x is negative, and then the y is positive. So we have minus and then plus.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Okay, so I'm saying that this is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and then the fourth quadrant. The figures in the first quadrant are all positive figures, because here in the first quadrant, the x-axis, the figures read positive, and then the y-axis, the figures read positive. Now, in the second quadrant, the x-axis, the figures read negative, and then for the y-axis, the figures read positive. So this is the first quadrant, the second quadrant. Now, at the third quadrant, for the x-axis, the figures read negative, and then for the y-axis, the figures read negative. So this is the direct opposite of the first quadrant.
Okay.
So the third quadrant is directly opposite, the first quadrant. And then at the
quadrant one is positive.
Quadrant 2, negative, positive.
And then quadrant 3,
negative.
Okay.
And then the fourth one, this will be the y-axis, the x-axis will be positive, and then the y-axis will be negative. So this one will be positive, negative. Okay. So this is also the opposite of the second. Okay. You see, because the second is negative, positive, and then the fourth is positive, negative. So this is it. And this is the basics for my analysis today. Now, there is, a graph that I would want us to really pay attention to as far as this is concerned. After the first round of games, Raymond, now this is our graph that we are about to, analyze. And as I showed us the quadrants, this is in quadrant. And this is a graph of possession and then SG difference.
Okay.
Possession and then SG difference. We all know the SG already. So the SG difference is, assuming Ghana against Panama, the SG that Ghana generated, and then the SG Panama generated. So for Ghana, if you have to subtract it, what would be the difference? So if Ghana generated, say, an SG of 4, and Panama generated an SG of 2, so the SG difference for Ghana will be 2 plus 2 plus 2. The SG difference of Panama will be minus 2. -2. So using possession and then SG difference, what it helps is that it helps you understand the real performance of the team. You see, in football, after every game, I analyze it in two folds. We have the results and then the performance. At times, the team which really performed did not win. And that is the beauty of football. At times, you can get the performance right, but the results, you are not going to get it right. So the results, obviously, is determined by the scoreboard. At the end of the day, how many goals did you score? That is the results. 2-1, 1-0, 5-0, that is the results. And then we have the performance. So with the performance, we use the possession and then the SG difference to really determine the performance of the team. Now, Raymond, if we are to focus on these quadrants where we are showing the average possession and then the SG difference, the team with the highest SG difference was Germany. And you see, this is the map for the SG difference, and then this is the one for possession. So from bottom up is possession. And then left to right is SG difference. So the team with the best SG difference is Germany. And to me, I'm not surprised that they were able to score how much? 7 goals. How many goals? 7 goals. They were able to score 7 goals. But you see, Raymond, the most interesting part is where I've got into.
Because before we proceed, what was Germany's XG going into that game, or after the game? What was Germany's XG? After the game,
Germany's XG was around 5 something, 5 point something.
Checking.
Yeah, so it means that they you see, at times there are teams who perform better than their SG, and that happens. Yeah, so it means that they outperformed their
XG.
Their XG.
For listeners, the XG is expected goals.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and what it means is that so they measure the value of chances.
Yeah.
Right, they measure the value of the chances.
Yeah.
And to come up with that number.
With that number.
So they look at the chances. Some chances way more. So
way more.
Penalty.
The quality of the chance.
The quality of the chance. So a penalty is almost 1.
Yeah, sure.
Almost 1. Shots from distance are further away from 1.
Yeah.
And then shots,
and especially whenever there are players in front of the shooting player,
yes,
that one reduces the SG. Yeah. And taking a country like France generated an SG of 1.75, but they scored 3 goals.
Okay.
And that tells you the quality of the attackers. It means that the attackers all the time can outperform their SG.
Which means that they didn't create great chances. The chances were worth 1.75, or they should have scored 1.75 based on chance creation.
But they scored 3. And for you to understand it, look at the first goal that they scored. That pass from Olise. No one would generate a higher SG from that pass. Yeah. But because of the quality, they were able to score. So most of the time, if teams outperform their SG, it means that the attacking potency was high.
Okay.
Now, so Germany finished that game with an XG of 4.22.
4.22, and they scored 7 goals.
So which means that the chances they created should have given them about 4 goals.
Yeah.
But they scored 7.
Yeah. It means that they outperformed their SG. Yeah. So yes, they played against Curaçao, fine, but they outperformed their SG, and that gives you a real, performance of the team.
Right.
Now, looking at this, the most interesting aspect is that the top 5 teams in terms of ball possession, none of them won their games. Raymond, the top 5 teams in terms of ball possession, none of them won their games. The top team was Portugal. Portugal had 75% of ball possession. They drew. Spain had 74% of ball possession. They drew. Turkey had 72% of ball possession. They lost to Australia.
Yeah.
Switzerland had 68% of ball possession. They drew with Qatar. And then Uruguay had 67% of the ball possession. They also drew with Saudi. So in the first round of games, the top 5 teams in terms of ball possession, none of them was able to win their games. This tells you one thing, that at this World Cup, especially in the first round, the most important aspect was not ball possession. It was penetration. It was creating quality SG. Because if you are unable to create those SG, you are not going to score.
Yeah.
Another point is that, you see, the teams at the 4th quadrant, none of them lost. And this is where it gets very interesting. You see, the 4th quadrant represent teams, as I indicated with what we did. The 4th quadrant is plus and then minus. Now, the teams at the fourth quadrant are teams who generated a positive SG difference, but were very bad in terms of ball possession. So these are the teams who generated a positive SG difference. So the SG they created in the game, and then the SG they considered in the game, if you are to subtract them, they had a positive SG difference. But in terms of ball possession, oftentimes they were below 50.
Okay.
So
okay. And I can already see it on the graph. I see the cluster of teams below the 50% possession.
So looking at these teams from the quadrant that I show, this is the third quadrant. It means that this is minus. So these are teams ball possession and all, SG difference and all. So most of the time I had a few for but some of them were able to pull up surprises, and that is the interesting aspect of this particular World Cup. But Nathan, as I said, and Raymond, the teams at the fourth quadrant, that is where Ghana is. Plus and minus, they are teams who generated positive SG difference, but below 50% mark in terms of ball possession. Now, DR Congo, have you seen where they are?
Yep. Their possession is what?
Very
That's
low.
about 24%.
Very low. Very, very, very low.
Wow. About 24%.
Yeah, they had 25% possession in the game. And then Portugal had, 75.
Yeah.
But look at DR Congo. You see, they are closer to the y-axis. And this y-axis, this is where their SG difference came from. And in the game, DR Congo had a positive SG difference. So they had better SG than Portugal. But Portugal had 75% of the ball. DR Congo had only 25%, but they had better SG than Portugal. So they were in the fourth quadrant. They did not lose.
Now, all of this takes me back to the theory I propounded at the start of the competition. I think I need to amend my hypothesis and add a variable. My hypothesis was that the World Cup will be won by one of two teams. And remember I said it.
A
team that either plays transition football or possessive football. But I'll update that hypothesis to include that either team will have, or either team should have a sharp attack, because this graph is telling us that the efficiency is key.
Very, very important.
You can have 25% of the ball and still have a positive XG.
Absolutely.
You can have, like, England had what, 51% of possession. Look at where they are on the XG. Very good difference. Look at Germany. They even outperformed their XG. France the same. So I guess the update to my hypothesis is that it should be efficient up front.
Very, very
and
efficient.
Portugal, with all their possession, finished their XG with 0.87. They finished their XG with
0.67.
So
and DRC finished with 0.87.
So it means that DRC had a better SG.
That's what they got the positive.
An efficiency problem there. So it means that Portugal couldn't even create high quality chances.
But they had a lot of possession. Now the next team at the fourth quadrant is, of course, Black Stars in Ghana. So Ghana had a positive SG difference.
Of course.
Yes, but in terms of ball possession, no. So plus minus the fourth.
So for those of us, those who are watching, those who are listening to us and watching, when you watch that game against against Panama, they didn't really create quality chances.
No. Ghana didn't create quality chances.
I mean,
Panama
didn't create quality chances. That's why Ghana, obviously, topped the XG rating. So Ghana finished that game with an XG of 1.31 compared to the 0.73 Panama had.
Wow,
so
Ghana's XG was 1.31.
Yes,
I would love to see. The XG map.
The XG map. Okay.
Not the flow map. Like the ladder map. No, I just want to see the XG map, right?
I have it when we get to the statistical analysis of
because
Ghana.
I want to see the chances that came
and where
to give us the 1.31.
So the next teams was Sweden. Sweden also had a positive SG, but below the 50% ball possession mark in the first round, but they won. So as I'm saying, all the teams in the fourth quadrant, none of them lost their games. Argentina, they won. Ivory Coast, they won. Iran, they drew. Morocco, they drew. So in the fourth quadrant, all of the teams, Ghana, DR Congo, you can add them. None of them lost their games. It means that, yes, they did not have enough of the ball possession. In fact, for some, those below here, Ghana and then DR Congo, the possession stats were very bad. Those a little above, they were around 40, 45, thereabout. But the most important thing for these clubs or for these teams was the SG difference. They were able to generate quality SG from the few, possession stats that they had, and that really helped them. So this, when I saw it, I decided to, come and then explain it so that our viewers can really understand it. This is the first round of the games at the World Cup.
Coach, let's look at Scotland.
Scotland, very interesting. The SG they generated is the same number of SG that they conceded.
Yeah.
So they are on the y-axis, exactly on it. They are on the y-axis, and very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
And interestingly, in that game, Haiti had more possession than Scotland.
Yes. Yes.
But Scotland won.
Haiti had more possession.
Okay.
And this is Haiti. You see, in terms of possession, Haiti
They did
was
about 53.
Yeah,
Haiti was
54%.
above Scotland, but both of them are on the y-axis,
Yeah,
and it means that both of them,
Similar
the SG they generated is the same one that they considered. So they are on
Okay.
the y-axis.
Like in net south, right?
Yeah, so-
in net
Yeah,
south.
yeah, yeah.
1.05, 1.05.
1.05. Yeah, so they are on the y-axis. I don't know if there's any country on this XG map that you don't want us to, yeah.
Croatia is interesting.
Yeah, Croatia.
I mean,
Croatia. This is Croatia.
Okay. So on the possession, they did what? I'm checking.
A little below,
they did
50.
a little below 50.
Yes, but look at the
they
distance.
had a negative
negative
XG.
XG.
So their XG was in the negative.
Yes.
So which means that
The XG difference
when
is
you
negative.
so cumulatively they didn't create a lot of high value chances.
Yeah.
Where
And
their
they-
first goal was a shot from range.
Yeah.
Shots from range usually was 0.5.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
The next goal was in the box.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
the box. That
was
Peter's
it.
is
Yeah, Peter.
But you see,
Musa's goal.
as I am saying, this is the XG difference. So if you look at this XG from Croatia to the XG that they conceded against England,
Oh, of course. Of
yeah,
course,
it's the
it's wide.
Yeah,
So they
it's
considered
wide.
4.
It was
What was England's XG in
England
that game?
3.21
England did 3.2.
and Croatia finished with 0.70.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they scored 2 goals, so they outperformed their
so
XG,
they
but
outperformed their XG, but
they
they
couldn't outperform.
they shipped out a lot of quality chances to England. And again, as you said, England with
3.21.
3.21 XG scored how many goals? 4.
Yeah.
So they outperformed
Yeah,
their XG, and that talks a lot about them. So that is it for the the real performance of every team using the possession and then the XG difference.
Right.
Now to Ghana. This is a statistical analysis of Ghana at the World Cup. Ghana against Panama. This was our first game. Ghana against Panama. In every game, there are tactics, there are a lot of things. But what really lets you see the real happenings on the field are the stats.
Okay.
And in most FIFA tournaments, what they do is that after every game, they release a 52-page document with detailed stats. So everything that happened on the field, they are embedded in this particular stats. So now let's start from the in possession of Ghana, because in the phases of play we have 4 phases of play. We have the in possession, the out of possession, the attacking transition, and then the defensive transition. So the phases of play, there are 4. Now we are starting from the in possession. So this is the possession line height and then team length. Possession line height and then team length of Ghana. Now possession line height, team length. So the line height is from the center backs to the attackers. How many meters in terms of distance from the center backs to the attackers? And then this will be the team length from one wide area, fullback to fullback, winger to winger. Yeah. So whenever in a build-up low, this was the length and then the height of Team Ghana.
I see.
Looking at this distance, it means that we push up to play, and that means that we are going to kick the ball long. Because if Ghana was going to do a low, build up, it means that our center backs should be here to play. But the distance from the goal line to where our center backs were was 21 meters. 21 meters means that we push them up front for the goalkeeper to launch the ball in. So that is the explanation of this one. And then we have the build-up mid, and then at the final third, whenever Ghana had sustained possession periods, at the final third, this was it. So at the final third, it means that the winger here, the length of, that is 46 meters, and then our center backs, and then the front line is 36 meters.
Okay.
So that is the possession height, and then the team length. So this one is for Panama. Now let's move on to the attempted line breaks of Ghana. Line breaking passes.
Okay.
A pass used to successfully move the ball past the opposition, any of their defensive lines. So it could be breaking their attacking line, it could be breaking their midfield line, it could be breaking their defensive line. So in any of them. And with those attempted line breaks, this gives us a better explanation of it. This is for all of our players who played in the game.
Okay.
All of them. And each and every one of them, the attempted line breaks that they had in the game, or the line breaking passes that they attempted in the game. So some few of them. Calibrianti in the game attempted 6 line breaking passes. 6. And he completed 5 of them. Yes. He attempted 6 line breaking passes, and he completed 5 of them. And this is the explanation of of the 5 that Calibrianti completed. He completed 4. This 4 is true. Or you see, in passing we have true, over, and then around.
Okay.
True, over, and then around. So either you are playing it through their team, you are playing it around their block, or over them to a player.
Okay.
So true, over, and then around. True was 4.
I see.
And most of the time, the true is the most difficult one. Because within the true, there are a lot of players who can easily intercept it.
Yeah.
So most of the time, players prefer, the around passes. So from the left side to, the around passes. But for Caleb, 4 of them was true. 1 around, 1 over. And it tells you that he really wanted to go through them. And I wasn't surprised that in the game, he had a very, very good game. Which player?
Gideon Mensah.
Yes, Gideon Mensah.
Line breaking pass. The completion rate is surprising. 17.
From 21. From 21. He attempted a lot of them.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
But then if you go through the numbers, your point that you made, his preference was that he played 9 around the block.
Yeah.
It's over.
And the reason why Gideon Mensah's passes are going to skyrocket is very simple. Look at Marvin Senya.
Yeah.
He also had 16. So it tells you that the fullbacks. Now, once he's a fullback and there's pressure on him, he's going to go around to the winger here. And once you give the pass around, it will be counted as a line breaking pass. And that's the reason why the fullbacks, they had bigger numbers. It doesn't necessarily mean that he played an impossible pass through. No. These are the things, and that explains why the fullbacks had higher ones. So I don't know if there's any other player that would want us to touch on
the 2 goalkeepers.
Help
me understand what actually happened there, because I see Asari having a lot more line breaking passes than Atizigi.
Yeah, but
when you come here for the direction of Asari's passes, all the 9 were over. And let me explain it. Whenever there's a goal kick, especially in the second half, what Asari will do is that go inside and let me kick the ball long.
Okay.
So once he kicks the ball, that is an over. And so it's a line breaking pass because it is, but it's an over pass.
So but in the first half, Atisiki would have these numbers because in the first half we didn't really control the game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
at his passes, he attempted 3 line breaking passes, completed only 1. Now the direction where he wanted to go over. The 3 is there, so he wanted to go over. But
so it means that 2 of them, the opponent, had the first ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The opponent had the first ball.
All
Yeah.
right.
So Nathan, you look at Antoine Semenyo's through passes, and you look at Caleb Rienchi. And then
Anton Semenyo attempted 5 line breaking passes.
Yes, but
he made 4.
But
when you go into the
most
detail,
difficult.
He made 3 of them.
Yes, and the most successful one was the one that led to the goal. Oh, coach.
Yeah.
That ball.
So that pass, the pass that got to Brandon Thomas Asante and eventually led to the goal. How do we classify that Semenyo pass? Is it through or around? Because he passes it from. It's almost he's in this left channel, right? Okay. In the left half space or left channel.
That one was an around pass. Yeah, around.
That's classified as an around.
But pass. One player that with this, really disappointed me was where is he? No, Elijah Owusu. Okay. Because the midfield partner of Elijah Owusu was Caleb Rienchi. So if you look at the numbers that Caleb Rienchi gave us, 6 line breaking passes with 5 being complete. And then if you are to compare that one with Elijah Owusu, just 3 attempted with 1, being successful. And I think that as a midfield partner, that's not a very,
I think
very
it tells us all we need to know about Elisha Owusu's capabilities. And a lot of people argue that against England, where Thomas Partey comes back, some people think the best midfield mix is Thomas Partey and Caleb.
Yeah, because Partey with line breaking passes, trust me. Partey.
Yeah, and I think this just tells us Elisha Owusu and what he can do and what he cannot do.
Yes.
Right. So I think that going forward, a lot of thinking will have to go into how to deploy him to ensure that he can do his work and do his work well to help the team.
But coach, is there a performance table for how do you call it? Interceptions and blocks and all.
Oh yeah. Okay. When we get to the defensive side.
So over there, I would want to see what Elisha
did there. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
When we get to the defensive side, we are definitely going to talk about that. Now, this is the passing network of Ghana. Passing network.
Okay.
So in
I was
football,
hoping to see the other type. There's this one that looks like a spider web.
Right.
The passing network. But anyway, I guess this will do.
In fact, I personally think that this is better than the spider because this gives a lot of details and then insights.
Okay.
This passing network, it will give you the most passes between
the combinations.
The most combinations that we did. Now from here, it tells us that Caleb Rienchi passed the ball, once to the goalkeeper, Lawrence Atizigi. This is himself, so obviously he should be
3 times to Ajete,
twice to Jordan, once to Semenyo, and then he gives you the
4 times to Marvin Senaya.
Yeah. Now, if you are to look at the top 5 player-to-player passes in the game, the top 5 for Ghana, the first player-to-player passer from Ghana was Jonas Ajete to Jerome Opoku. But why are you laughing? I'm not even being to mention about it.
I'm laughing because I think it highlights
everything.
What we were doing.
So in the Ghana team, the most passing combination, the first one was Jonas Ajete to Jerome Opoku, centre back to centre back. The second one was Jerome Opoku to Jonas Ajete. So the first one being Jonas to Jerome, centre back to centre back. The second one was Jerome to Jonas. Now the third one was Jerome Opoku to Gideon Mensah, centre back to the left back. The fourth one was Jonas Ajete to Marvin Senaya. That is another centre back to the right back. And then the fifth one was Marvin Senaya to Jonas Ajete. So it means that in the top 5 player passing sequences for Ghana, the midfielders, the attackers, they were not involved. We were just passing the ball amongst the back line. Centre back to centre back to full back, and then back and forth. So it means that going forward, midfielders, attackers, from those particular positions and areas, we were not really passing the ball very, very well. So if you have to look at Jerome Opoku, he passed the ball 17 times to Jonas Ajete. 17 times to Jonas Ajete. With our forwards, he passed the ball. He passed the ball 0. Wow, to Kamaldeen 0, and it's Nyama 1. Fatah when he came in 0. So clearly, that's it. He did not pass the ball to Jordan Ayew. He passed the ball once to Antoine Semenyo. He passed the ball 15 times to Gideon Mensah. So most of the time, it means that our centre backs were passing the ball amongst themselves. And with this, whenever the technical team has this, they can really analyze it better and then know what to do in the England game. Raymond, I don't know if there's any player that you want us to talk about.
I want to let's look at Semenyo and Jordan's passing patterns.
Okay, so this is Jordan.
Yeah.
And where is Antoine Semenyo?
Antoine is just after him.
So he passed the ball to him twice.
So Jordan passed the ball
twice to
Antoine Semenyo.
Once to Gideon Mensah.
So Antoine Semenyo passed Antoine Semenyo passed the ball once to Jordan Ayew. And Jordan passed the ball twice to Antoine Semenyo. So that's not a very good number.
So Nathan, you look at Caleb Yuenchi.
Yeah.
He never passed the ball to Jordan.
Caleb?
Yeah, Caleb. He didn't. So
Caleb twice.
Oh, okay, twice.
Yeah,
twice to Jordan.
Twice
to Jordan, once to Semenyo.
Yeah.
And then 3 times to Ajete. So even Caleb Yuenchi's passing network.
Yeah,
the highest
network.
You have Elisha Wusu and Marvin Senaya.
And then Marvin Senaya. So it means that he passed the ball. In between and then another one. Yeah, sure. So
really couldn't get the ball to.
So that is the passing network for Ghana in the game. That is the passing network. So now let's move on to a different metric. This is attempts at goal. Attempts at goal for Ghana. I don't know if this one is attempts at goal.
So we hit 1 shot on target. 3 off,
goal, 3 off target,
2 blocked,
1
incomplete, and then 1 goal.
But coach, what is an incomplete shot? I'm curious.
Incomplete shot. You see, once you decide to shoot the ball and there is a player in front of you, now it means that you cannot actually go in for the ball. You must change and then so ideally it should have been a shot, but it was incomplete.
Okay, what's the block shot? Obviously, it gets stopped.
Yeah, it gets stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the incomplete is the shot never got off. You couldn't take the shot. You had to do something else. All right.
So now that is our shooting for the game against Panama. And these are the types of shot that we did. The types. This is it.
Okay.
The types. And then the body parts that we used. Okay. So you could see that with our shot, head is 1, 2, 3. Right foot 1, 2, 3. Left foot 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Header, of course, Jonas Ajeti.
That was our first shot on target.
Yeah, that header.
That header.
And then he tried another one late in the game.
Then Yuenchi also had one very off the bar shot. So that's the off target. Then Fatah also had one. Antoine Semenyo incomplete. Antoine Semenyo blocked. Jonas Ajeti off again. Thomas Brandon Asante incomplete. That was blocked. That was late on in the game. And then the goal. Okay.
Yeah. So that is
the Antoine Semenyo block shot was late in the game. I remember there was this chance it broke to him just outside the penalty box. I thought he would raise his head and take a touch, but he didn't.
Now this is the crossing of Ghana, and I'm very much interested in this. In the game, we attempted 12 crosses and then completed 3.
Whoa.
We attempted 12 crosses against Panama and we completed only 3. And I am thinking that if you attempt 12 and you complete only 3, then there's a problem. But you see, the biggest problem is where we decided to miss the crosses from. I am thinking that whenever you want to cross a ball and you are closer to the 18-yard line, it means that now you are closer to your target. So that cross must be a complete one. But Nathan, do you know that the crosses that Ghana, attempted, the ones we were closer to the 18 were the ones that we missed. And the ones we were far away from the 18 were the ones that were completed. Now, this is the map of all the crosses that we did, the cross locations. If you are to, look at these cross locations of Ghana, the yellow ones represent the attempts, and then the blue ones are the completed ones. So look at the ones out just around and even inside the 18. All of them were missed. So it means that we must really improve on this particular thing, our crosses. Because the ones we were closer to the 18 and even inside, we missed them. The 3 ones that, we were able to be successful with the crosses, this is a very far one. Have you seen?
Yes,
Very
wow.
close to the line. This one too is just in between the channel, and this is just around the half space. So looking at the areas where we were able to whip in the crosses and be successful, where we were farther away from the 18-yard box. Once we were closer to the box, where it should have been a completed cross, because from these areas the balls would have been would have generated a higher SG if we had been able to do that.
Ray, look at the delivery types. We did an in-swinger once. We did out-swingers six times.
Yeah.
We did a driven cross. Because what is that? A driven
power.
Power,
Yeah.
okay, like Antonio Valencia.
Yeah.
Lofted, of course. No cutbacks. We did zero
cutback.
Zero cutbacks.
Zero.
So we were not working combinations where we go to the byline and cut it back for somebody to tap in. We didn't do any of this. So there is a challenge.
Well, that explains. I mean, that all of that happened because we were not interested in playing a possession-based game. We didn't even have the ball to attempt to, do control the game to the extent where you have the chance to play cutbacks and all.
But if you go further down, the most crosses attempted
Came from
3, but they all came from Elijah Owusu.
Owusu, who is a defensive midfielder.
Who's a defensive midfielder?
If we are to look at our players, this is our players, and then the number of crosses that each and every one of them attempted. The one of the areas where I think Jordan Ayew must improve against England was crosses from open play, because these are crosses from open play. 0 attempts crosses from open play.
Zero did.
Yes,
Jordan
0.
did not do well across this matrix at all.
Semenyo attempted 1. That was driven.
Semenyo, 1 driven. You see, Semenyo always goes for those types.
Coach, how will we classify Brandon Thomas Asante's pass that led to the goal?
As you said, pass.
Oh, that's okay. That's not a cross.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a
obviously
pass.
it's not
It's
a
a
cross.
pass.
Neither is it a cutback.
No. It's not a cutback. In fact, it seems he did one driven cross, the one that he was attempting it for Jordan, but that was one driven one. But the one for Caleb was a pass.
It was a pass.
Yes.
I see.
So this is the start for our players, and then of course most of the time we really did not do very well as far as crossing is concerned. And this is for Panama, but this is something that we must be interested in. You see, we did very well by defending against their crosses, because they attempted 19 and completed only 2. So it means that we did very well. But these are the areas where Panama, we allowed them to cross the ball. And for this, if you are England and your next opponent is Ghana, you must study this. It means that whenever the ball gets to this area, you can cross the ball into the box. And we know how the English team are very good when it comes to this crossing, the set pieces and all that. When it gets to Ghana, England, we are going to really dive deeper into it. But this is for Panama, and I think that the team must...
They attempted 19.
Yeah. And look at the positions. It means that there wasn't enough pressure
for them, because if... Typically, you have to go down the byline to cross. But this time, they had the luxury
of doing it,
of crossing the ball early. Right? They didn't have to hit the byline to cross. They are crossing the ball early. I also think it's a consequence of their setup, because they had wing backs, right? And as you said, so I think 2 things: the setup and the fact that there was no pressure. Coach, please go back. I just want to see where their crosses came from. Am I surprised? I'm not. They are left wing back. You highlighted, that the left. I noticed that Panama construct a lot of their things from the left hand side. So they are left centre back trying the diagonals, and also the fact that they want to go down that side.
And ironically, all these 3 were from their left-sided centre back. All these 3.
You mentioned. So you know that I spent the game just looking out for that. Looking out for the Panamanian left centre back and the attempts he would make, because you did highlight that it was something.
Now this is the offers to receive. Now, Nathan, in football, you have what you call the offering to receive. So offers to receive are the actions a player makes whenever his teammate has the ball, signaling that he wants a pass from his teammate. So ideally, it's not all the time that he's even going to receive the pass, but once you make that signal, once you make that movement, once you make that, that action or that signal, is termed as offers to receive. Now, the players made 226 offers to receive the ball, but they actually received 81.
Debit and credit.
So it means that most of the offers that the players made to receive among themselves, they were not able to, really pass the ball to themselves. And it comes back to two things. One, the possession of the team. Because if your teammate, is offering you to give him the ball and you are unable to locate him, then it means that the team has some sort of, problem with ball possession. And again, it also means that most of the time the players were focusing on the transitions and not the passing. Now, if we are to look at the players who made a lot of the offers and then those who really received the offers, Kamaldeen Sulemana with his made 27 offers to receive, and he received 5 balls. He made 27 offers, he received 5. I am thinking that this is one of the areas where Jordan must also improve as far as his game is concerned, because he made only 9 offers in the game. Once his teammate has the ball and then Jordan must offer a passing lane for him, it's only 9. And throughout the game, I think amongst all the starters, that is the lowest. Yeah, amongst the starters.
The person who made himself available for a pass.
Yeah.
And Jordan did that 9 times,
and he received 4 passes from those instances. It means that 5 out of them they did not give the ball to Jordan.
Okay, so was it down to we won't know whether it was down to a poor passing decision or just the refusal to give Jordan the pass.
Semenyo has an interesting number there.
He offered 27 times for the ball. How many times did he receive?
11. And you see, Raymond, what this teaches us is that, you see, at times in football, there are players who, we say, personal. Whenever his teammate has the ball, instead of
they don't show
to show up and receive, they don't do. So having this number or having this stat will really help you to know those who were showing up and then those who weren't. And again, it can even help you to know those who were confident and then those who were nervous. In the game. Now we have the movement to receive, because we've looked at the offers to receive. Now we are looking at the movement to receive. The movement to receive is by using in to out, out to in between, in front, or in behind. Now, in to out means that you initially were inside the block of the opponent, but as soon as your player had the ball, you decided to go out, move outside of the block to receive. And then we have out to in. Initially, you were at the wider area, but when you had the ball, you went inside their block to try and receive in the half spaces on the half turn. So that is it for the in to out and then out to in. I think for in front, in between, and then in behind, those ones really explains himself. So with the in front passing to receive, they receive Elisa Usu 10 movement to receive 10 from Elisa. Calibranchi 3, that was in between. So in between, the blocks of the opponent, it was Calibranchi who was Ghana's best player in terms of receiving in between, the movement to receive in between. And the number is only 3. So I'm thinking that if the best in that particular area received only 3 passes, then it's not a very good thing. Again, in to out, Kamaldeen Sulemana was our best 4. Out to in, Kamaldeen Sulemana was our best only 1. And for the out to in, he received only 1 pass, and that was our best in the game. The out to in means that he was on the line, but whenever they were, bringing the ball inside, he decided to come inside the block and receive, and that was only 1. But I'm thinking that once you come inside the block, that is the point where you can draw an opponent to even create a space for some of your players. So if we are not doing some of these things very well, I think that it will not be helpful. So we must really try to improve on that area against England. Now this is out of possession. Ghana against Panama, out of possession. So we would look at the first turnovers, the possession regain, the interceptions, the tackles, and then the possession actions. Now, if you are to look at here, total possession regains. This is the list for our players. total possession regains. So the possession regains can be an interception. It can be maybe even a loose ball that the player just pick it up and all that. So with the possession regains, Atizigi 4. Atizigi 4. As I said, it could even be just a long pass from Panama where do not get to any player. Then Atizigi will just run and then pick it up. Yeah. So those are the possession regains. So that is it for the defensive action. And then the defensive line, and then the team length. Very, very important. And I want to focus here because our next game against England, our defensive line, most of the time, our defensive actions will be centered around, a low block. So I want to focus here. Now, Raymond, if we are to look at the low block of Ghana, whenever we decided to, sit deep against Panama, this was the height and then the length of it. The distance between our back line and then our front two players, whenever we wanted to press, was 26 meters. And then their weight was, 35. But I'm thinking that this is a very good number. But against England, we must try to be a little bit more compact. This determines the compactness of a team, how compact you are. I am thinking that we must try to, reduce this number. At least the height must be around 20 meters, and then the weight must be around maybe 25. 30 would be okay. So this is it for Ghana against Panama. Whenever we decided to sit deep and then defend. Now we have the total presses, and I think this was an area where Jordan Ayew really helped Team Ghana. Yeah, total. Yes.
Yeah, that's what.
So
that's
the most direct presses from the team from Team Ghana was from Jordan Ayew, 10. The player with the most direct presses from Team Ghana was...
Coach, what does that mean for somebody who doesn't quite understand
So the direct presses simply means Nathan has the ball. Directly, I am coming to you. I am coming to press you. And we have the indirect one. The indirect one comes within the defensive line. So assuming the ball is at the right side, and then the right back, shift there, all of us will go. So all of us who are following, we are not the ones going there direct. It's an indirect, but we are still giving him pressure, but we are not the ones going there direct. So that is it for the direct one, and then the indirect one. So it wasn't a bad game. You see, in the game of football, once we have our win, it's a very good thing. But these stats will really help us to try and then improve on certain things. Now this is goalkeeping. We have the goalkeeping distribution. With the goalkeeping distribution, kick from feet, from hands, throw distribution, and if we are going to combine all of these, it will give us the total distributions. But Raymond, if you are looking here, it means that most of the goalkeeping distribution from Ghana went to the left side. Most of in fact, from kick from hands, all of them went to the left side. From feet, most of them went to the left side. It was only for which, came to the right side. And with this info, whenever England has access to this, of course, they are going to have it because it's an open, info.
So the balls were going there because of Semenyo?
Yeah.
Or Kamal Dean?
And again, the balls were going Jordan. There, because whenever Ghana had the ball, whenever we wanted to, this is kick from feet. So whenever the goalkeeper decided to, kick the ball inside, the coach wanted us to form the block here so that we will kick the ball there. Okay. So it also means that it's a coaching decision to, to go there. Okay. And again, don't forget, our goalkeeper is a right-footed goalkeeper. Most of the time, they will kick to their left side. Okay. Yeah, but when it was to be maybe a left footer, most of the time they will kick to their right side. So that is it for the goalkeeping aspect. So this is the stats, the stats in the game, Ghana against Panama, and this is set place, very, very important. These are total set plays. You see, for the set place, penalties, throw-ins, corners, free kicks, all of them, they combine and then we call them the set plays. So all the time, coaches will tell you that the most important set play in the game is a throw-in. But most of the time, we do not, pay attention to throw-ins because of all the set plays. It is throw-ins which happens a lot in the game. Of all the set plays.
Yeah, that's true.
Corners, free kicks, penalties, they do not happen as often as throw-in. And that is why it is important for you to prioritize throw-ins. In the game, I saw Antoine Semenyo giving us one long throw, and I was happy because he has that ability from AFC Bournemouth. He's been doing it. Yeah. Yes, at Man City, Pep said that he's not really interested in those things. But once Semenyo has that quality, we must try to exploit it. Yes. Because when England has a throw-in around the same area, you will see Declan Rice going to pick it up and come and throw the ball. Yeah. And I am thinking that we must really prioritize some of these things. At this stage, this is the details, and the details really matter for us to really win the game. So this is the overview of it with respect to crosses, passes, line breaking attempts, and all that, take-ons, step-ins, attempts at goals, and all that from Team Ghana. So this is the stats of Ghana as we played against Panama.
You see, when you look at the passing, the possession, the percentages, Jonas Ajeti attempted the most passes, completed 46, but all of them were to his defensive partner.
Yeah.
And then you look at the offensive players. Jordan attempted 15, completed 9. Semenyo 24, completed 20. Gideon Mensah, of course, we all know that defensive line, passing. And then you look at another player, Nyama, he attempted 13, completed 9. Offensive players, the team was never in sync when it comes to midfield play to attack. They didn't complete a lot of passes together, and coach, the data clearly tells us that a lot of the passing was between the four defenders, the back line, and then it's we against England. I don't know how we are going to fix those passing channels.
Is to fix anything passing, we have passing drills. We have possession drills. That's why the last time I was saying that in possession drills, take them very, very, very serious. Because no matter how you want to play, you need to, at a point in time, possess the ball. For that one, even if you are saying you are playing counter-attacking football, someone must pass to someone, and that is possession. So for possession drills, we must really take them very, very serious. Very, very, very serious. You see, if you look at Elisha Usu, he attempted 23 passes in the game. 23, but out of 23, 20. Only 3 were line breaking passes. Out of 23 passes that he attempted, only 3 were attempted line break. It means that 20 of them were passes sideways and then to the back. Only 3.
And even the 3 line breaking passes he attempted, none worked.
Yeah. So clearly there is an issue there that we must.
One thing all of this tells us is that we were not very good on match day in terms of our offensive play.
Yeah.
Offensively, we struggled.
Yeah, we were not. Very good.
And it stemmed from we couldn't possess the ball. We were not fluid. The back line had the most possession, and even that they couldn't even move the ball up the pitch. A lot of the passing was around them or in between them. And it told. And as I said, if you look at Elisha, I think this just highlights his limitations as a player, what he can't or cannot do. And, Carlos Queiroz will have a lot of work to put in before we take on England, in 4 days.
9:46, you are still live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. This is the Sporty Breakfast, and just running the rule over everything that happened in that game between Ghana and Panama. The full statistical data being analyzed by Coach Kwabena Danso. Coach Kwabena Danso is a video analyst, a CAF Line CC coach, and a teacher as well. And but Nathan, you can tell Coach has taught us a lot today. A lot of things.
Today we've done play geometry.
A lot of things we don't pay attention to in
quadrants.
The game. Yeah, the quadrants. Yeah, So I mean, we are enjoying all of this. But let me just remind you that all 380 fixtures for the 2026-2027 Premier League season have been announced. Yeah, so the Premier League, they have confirmed all matches for the 2026-2027 season. The games or the season would kick off on August 21. That's a Friday. The games would be played through to Monday, August 24. Now, Arsenal will open their campaign against newly promoted Coventry City Manchester United, they will travel all the way to take on Hull City in an early kickoff game. So United have been handed a newly promoted side in their opener. Everton play Crystal Palace. Ipswich Town will take on Sunderland. Nottingham Forest take on Leeds United, and Brentford would play against Tottenham, all on the all on Saturday, the 22nd of August. And then on Sunday, you have Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Aston Villa. Manchester City take on Bournemouth. And then you have Newcastle United taking on Liverpool. That will be a very big game for our good friend
Alexander Isak.
And then our new coach who will be expected to do a good job in there. And then on Monday you have Fulham welcoming Chelsea to the Craven Cottage. So interesting games to look forward to in the English Premier League. So the fixtures have been released. All 380 fixtures for the 2026-2027 season have been announced, and we'll see. Nathan will take us through some of the interesting matchups, the derbies to look forward to in there, and when some of these derbies will be played, and when some of the big games in the season will be played. So we'll get into all of that later on in the show. But this is still the Sporty Breakfast. Coach, quickly, yesterday there were a few games. Did you pay attention to any of them?
Yes, especially the South Africa against Mexico. Czechia. Yeah. South Africa and then Czechia. To be honest, I saw an improved South Africa compared to what they did in the opener, and it was a game where they were able to pass the ball very well as compared to what they did against Mexico. Now in the game, I think that one thing that Czechia did not do very well was their pressing. Because you see, Czech decided at a point to go with a man-to-man press against South Africa. And the reason was very simple. They saw the game against Mexico, and then they saw that whenever Mexico with Lira and then all those players decided to press against South Africa, they had some success with it. And it even resulted in a goal. So Czechia also decided to, press man-to-man against South Africa. But the mistake that Czechia did was that the player Sitole, whom Mexico, targeted and was pressing, was not in that game, and it was Teboho Mokoena who was in that particular position. Yeah. And to me, Mokoena really showed levels in the game, and his passing and everything, his bounce passes, his link passes, and all that was very good. So easily they were able to bypass the pressing structure of Czechia, and to me it was a thing that the South Africans they did, and then they did very well. With the goal that they considered, you see, it's one goal which really needs analysis. Now, look at how it was from a throw, and I was telling you how teams, prioritize throw-ins. Yeah. And it was a very long throw. You see, in throw-in, there's no offside. In throw-ins, there's no offside. Yeah. And looking at Mbekeli Mbokazi, he felt that since the distance was very wide, Czechia cannot really throw the ball with that distance. So he decided not to mark that player. But when he realized the Czechia player had, given that long throw to his player, and with that cutback, it was a simple, goal for Czechia. So from a defensive throw-in, they had a goal. And that is why I'm saying that this particular World Cup, set pieces are very much important. And if set pieces or set plays are important, the most frequent set play in a game is throw-in. And you must pay attention to throw-ins. So in that game, South Africa did not really pay attention to that throw-in because they felt that it was a defensive throw-in for Czechia. But with a defensive throw-in, Czechia created a chance, and then they scored a goal.
I'm quite surprised South Africa got themselves caught out by that, because Czechia's only goal in the competition prior to this came from a throw-in. Against South Korea.
Yeah.
Long one, and of course that was a more offensive throw-in. But I think that should have given South Africa the hint that these guys,
they're specialists when it comes to
utilize it. They've got a lot of, ability to attack the throwing. Let's look at a player like Suchek. I mean, that's
his stock and trade.
So I'm quite surprised South Africa got themselves caught out or they were caught out by a throwing that eventually led to the goal. But they pushed themselves, got a penalty, and equalized. You know. But talking about the games, I as I said, I watched all the highlights. The one I found the most interesting was the two games. Right, one the Canada game, because look, I believe that when you get weak opposition, thump them well. I mean, that's my belief.
Beat them good.
Yes, and that's Canada did that. Got themselves 3 points. They have 4 now. The other game though was the Mexico-South Korea game. I was, as I said, I only watched the highlights. But the highlights I watched, I was very impressed with the Korean goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I was very impressed with the Korean goalkeeper.
The same one who let them down.
Yeah, I mean, eventually fumbled the ball and all.
Kim Seung-ju.
Yeah, but I thought his goalkeeping was solid. He pulled off this save that I liked so much. It was a shot from range, non-drop volley from the Mexicans, and he managed to palm. Like, it was a very solid dive, one hand to palm the ball out. I was very impressed with what I saw. And then the Koreans themselves, right, tried a few opportunities. They had this chance where the Mexican goalkeeper Randall, brilliant save on the line, because the ball was played from left to right. So it was this diagonal cross from left to right. The Korean player attacks the header, and the ball is bouncing downwards, and the goalkeeper almost had to react very quickly and scoop up the second. I thought that was good. So for me, those were the things that...
He was one of their best players.
Yeah, what's his name? Rangel. I thought those were two things that jumped out at me. For Canada, sad stuff. They have this player who suffered Coney, a really serious looking injury, you know. So,
but you see, with the Canada game, Raymond, where I was very much, surprised was what Nathan just said. At the 71st minute, I think around that time they were leading by 4-0. Yeah. And the coach decided to bring on an attacker and take off one of his centre backs to get more goals.
Yeah.
and yes, he got 2 more goals, winning by 6-0.
Yeah, to progress to the next round, you don't take chances. If you got
Canada
4 goals,
have 4 points. Yeah. They have a healthy goal difference of +6. +6. As to how they don't qualify with that, I don't know. But it looks like they are going to qualify. Yeah. So 4 points +6 goals.
They'll go.
Yeah. So games to look forward to this weekend. So there'll be games on the 19th, on the 20th, and on the 21st, of course. Now, let me take you through the fixtures, and Kelvin and Coach will decide which games they want to talk about. The United States of America will take on Australia. Now, Scotland will take on African champions Morocco.
You say always crack me.
Brazil take on Haiti. Turkey will take on
3 points and
3 points in the bag. Turkey will take on Paraguay. Netherlands play Sweden. Now Germany will take on Ivory Coast, or Cote d'Ivoire, as they like to be called. Then you have Ecuador taking on Curacao. That's another 3 points in the bag for Ecuador there. And then Tunisia, with their new coach Hervé Renard, they would come up against a very, very, very difficult Japanese team. So it's Tunisia versus Japan this weekend. And then Spain would look to bounce back from their first game scare against Cape Verde. And they will take on Saudi Arabia this weekend.
Spain need to get ready for another
low block.
Complicated game, because the Saudis are going to sit back.
Yes. Belgium play Iran. Uruguay will take on Cape Verde. And that's a game I think Uruguay can win.
You don't think Cape Verde will repeat
I don't think. Yeah. So these are the games to look forward to this weekend. So the games will be played right through Friday through to Sunday. These are the games to look forward to.
So the USA game against Australia will be very interesting.
Yeah.
I think the Americans will have to be very careful of the Australians. We saw what they did against Turkey.
They don't like to.
We saw the possession.
They don't like to hold the ball.
They will play on the break.
Yes.
And we know Pochettino's teams, high intensity, high energy, front foot pressing. So the US will have to be very careful. If the Australians play through that press, they are going to get something to run with. Scotland-Morocco promises to be very interesting as well. Two teams Morocco are hoping to pluck their first 3 points. Scotland are hoping to keep Morocco quiet and maybe get themselves something. It is the Brazil-Haiti game that I find really interesting. I guess
it's a matter of how many Brazil can score.
Let's see what they can do. Turkey-Paraguay is interesting. Two teams who lost their first 2 games. Paraguay heavily. They lost 4-1 to the US. So you get the sense the two teams will attack each other. Everybody wants the points. Yeah. Right?
Netherlands, Sweden?
That is a complicated game. I saw the Dutch. Look, I've seen the goals they conceded against Japan. Sweden can easily score those kinds of goals.
Yeah.
right? The set piece goals. Look at Sweden's height, their physicality, the fact that they don't even want a lot of the ball. And we saw the charts. The charts told us a lot. They would like to play on the break as well. And I think in a player like Victor Gyökeres, they have a number 9 who you can play the ball to, let him hold and let others do the running. Ayari and Alexander Isak will give the Dutch problems. Right? I think they will give Holland problems. If they decide to play on the break, it will help Sweden a lot. Right? And I think the Dutch will commit because they're also in a position where they have to get points on the board. And that's why I think this is a very tricky game for the Dutch. It could be a very complicated group run where you play 2 draws. You are yet to win a game going into game number 3. And you have to get a result in game number 3. And game number 3, who are they playing? I need to check who's in the Dutch group.
So it's Japan, Netherlands, and then Cote d'Ivoire. Oh no! Oh, sorry. Tunisia.
So which means that they may have an opportunity to get 3 points, but we don't know what happens to Tunisia in the next game. New coach, I've seen the motivational quotes.
So, coach, which games
I'm interested in Spain. Spain against Saudi Arabia. You see, for Spain, the last 11 games that they've played, they've won 7. They've drawn 4. The 4 games that they've drawn, all of them, the teams played in the same way. The teams sat deep, low block, invited Spain to attack them, and Spain were unable to unlock those defenses. So Spain against Iraq, we saw how Iraq defended with their lives in Spain in the friendly, ahead of the World Cup, and then they had a draw. Spain against Egypt, we saw how Egypt went to Spain, decided to defend with even a man down. Spain were unable to unlock the defense of Egypt. At the World Cup in their first game against Cape Verde, we saw how Vozinha and co really defended very well against Spain. So if you are Saudi Arabia, there is a template. Defend compact, defend deep in a very low block against Spain, and you stand a chance. But for Spain, I think that they will learn lessons from how they played against Cape Verde. Because clearly, deciding to rely on Gavi and then Ferran as your wingers did not really help. So at a point we saw that yes, they pushed Marc Cucurella and then Marcos Llorente up front, but Cucurella, Llorente cannot really give you those 1v1 ability that Nico and then Lamine will give you. So with Spain, if Nico and then Lamine are available, I think that will really help them to be able to unlock the defense of Saudi Arabia, because they will need this particular win. Aside this game, they are going to play against Uruguay, and that Uruguay game with Marcelo Bielsa at the helm of affairs can go either side. So if Spain really wants to advance, of course, of which I know they will be able to advance, they must be able to pick up the maximum points against Saudi Arabia, and that will put them at a spot where against Uruguay, even a draw would be enough for them to be able to qualify from their group.
Do you expect personnel changes? Do you think
definitely
De La Fuente will or should make changes?
He should. In fact, it's a must. He must make personnel changes. The first one will be those who would hold the weight for Spain. Lamine, Nico, even if they are not, fully fit, at least one of them must start the game to be able to, unlock the defenses of Saudi Arabia. Because in the game against Cape Verde decided to defend very narrow. And the reason was that if you have Cucurella and then Llorente holding the weight, there's no need for that to come at them and try to tackle them. But if it's Nico, if it's Lamine, you definitely shift towards that side to press Lamine. And by shifting, it means that you are going to open up a space within your defensive block. And with that, it can help Spain to get certain goals against Saudi. So I'm expecting personnel changes. Again, if he's going to play with Rodri, Pedri, Fabian, then it means that he must, give them different roles and then responsibilities on the field of play. Because relying on Pedri and then Fabian as your interior midfielders will not work. Because that is not how, their profiles match up. Their profiles, really helps them to circulate the ball and be giving those passes. So if you are going to put them at the half spaces, trying for them to play as inside mid or interior midfielders, is not really going to help. So there should be personnel changes. To me, the most important personnel change should be at the wide areas. Again, if you are going to play with Mikel Oyarzabal, of course the coach knows him, because from the U21 where he won it, it was Mikel Oyarzabal playing as his number 9. So Mikel Oyarzabal plays very well and similar to how Germans will use Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
At number 9, freedom to move and all that. But if you are asking Mikel Oyarzabal to to be in between the center backs of the opponent and then to pin them down, it will be very difficult for him to do that. That will be a work perfectly suited for Borja Iglesias and not Mikel Oyarzabal. So these are some of the tweaks that whenever I'm going to watch Spain against Saudi, I'll be looking forward to.
Last time Spain played Saudi Arabia in the World Cup was in 2006. It was their third group game. I think Aragonés made a lot of changes to that team. They won by a 1-0. So Immortal and his friends who like Andes, you can chase that one. But there's a big classic in Group E. There's a Group E classic that will be played this weekend, and it's between Germany and Cote d'Ivoire. Now, Coach Nathan, let's quickly look at that before we go. Time is fast spent. Let's quickly look at that Germany Cote d'Ivoire game before we go.
Well, that's a very, very interesting one. Cote d'Ivoire will have Eli Waibak. He gets to play in Canada. Yeah. He started that game. I think he didn't last. They brought on Amad Diallo, right, to go and play for Cote d'Ivoire. They will try, and you expect them to try and limit the damage. But when I look at Cote d'Ivoire, they don't look like a team that is very defensive in their way of thinking. They will feel very confident. Of course, they will be very steady and very careful in their approach. And I think they will approach the game the same way they approached the game against France. Stay in it as long as possible, and then see if you can get a late winner. For the Germans, they already have 3 points, but this will be their very first proper test, coming up against a team that has got some quality in some areas. Gela Doué, Yan Diomande, Amad Diallo. You see the midfield that the Ivorians have. But I expect Cote d'Ivoire to back off slightly, hand the Germans a bit of the ball and see if they can play them on the break, right? I would love to see if Emes Faye has that side to his game where they back off, be a little conservative, a little solid, and let's see if they can spring the counter-attack, the pace of Amad Diallo, Yan Diomande and co, if they can head the German defense. We've seen the Germans concede once. That's against Curacao. You can argue that it didn't happen in a transition. I think it came out of a transition. Eventually, the ball fell to Curacao. So I expect Cote d'Ivoire to take a bit out of that. But I don't think they'll be overly defensive. I think they'll be a little brave in what they do. They will come out and try and match a bit of the Germans. But we'll see. This is Germany's first proper test, quote unquote. Let's see how they respond.
So looking at the game, personally, I think that the last 2 games that the Ivorians have played has given them a lot of confidence, because they beat France and then they won their first game at the World Cup. So that will give them a little bit of confidence. But if I am the coach of Ivory Coast, I'll play this game with the group table. Just print out the table, give it to the players. Let them look at it. Now you have 3 points. Your next game is against Curacao. So what it means is that just manage the Germany game. Even if you lose, it shouldn't be by a wider margin. So that against Curacao, because
that's a bonus point.
Yes. So you must play this game with the league table. Or the table in the group.
Don't be reckless.
Play
intelligent.
Yeah, because imagine if Cote d'Ivoire, let's say they lose, let's say 4-0 against them, which means that against Curacao,
you must score a lot of goals.
Because already the one goal you have against Ecuador is gone.
Yes.
So you are
playing against Curacao, again, looking at the table, and you are now hoping to score. So if you score 1, you need more. Score 2, you need more. For Curacao, who may be out of the competition, they won't care. They can make it a very crazy game for you, where once you are careless and you open up, they also attempt to find goals.
Because you see, now Ecuador is going to play Curacao. So assuming Ivory Coast, as Nathan said, loses this game by a wider margin, maybe 3 or 4, Ecuador is definitely going to beat Curacao. So it means that going into the last round of games, Ecuador will be second and Ivory Coast will be third. And that will give you pressure to beat Curacao by more goals.
You can get careless.
But you know, I want to disagree with 2 of you on this Germany game. Look, I watched the Germans play Curacao. I watched the Germans play the Black Stars. Ivory Coast have it in them to beat them.
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. That
Ivory Coast can beat them.
Right, that's why I said
Cote
it
d'Ivoire
is Germany's first test.
Yeah.
This is their real test.
Because of the West African countries who are at the World Cup. Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire are the only teams that have the kind of quality to try
challenge
go into a game against a big boy and hold their own and play.
Yeah.
A few details will elude them. We saw Senegal; they missed chances. France went to score.
Yeah.
The same thing can happen to Cote d'Ivoire.
Morocco did same.
Morocco same. So this is a test. All I'm saying is that you cannot also discount the quality the Germans have, because when they get it going, they can be very tough to play against.
Yeah.
I think Cote d'Ivoire can. That's why I like what Coach said. Manage the game. Be brave when you can. Because the Germans look like a team that can give you goals.
Yeah.
One or two, they can give you.
Curaçao got a goal against them.
Yes, they can give you one or two. But how many will you prevent them from scoring? But I agree with you. Cote d'Ivoire do have quality to be brave.
In this game, I'm putting my money on Cote d'Ivoire. Upset.
Win.
I think
it's possible.
This would be, if it happens, this would be the first upset,
the first big
major
upset.
big upset.
Aside Spain.
I think
because even at this World Cup, most of the games weren't really, a team beating someone to upset him. It was preventing
them from winning. So
definitely.
And finally, let's look at Tunisia, Japan. Tunisia, because of the new manager bounce. And if they can stand their own against Japan, you were full of praises for the Japanese coach.
Yes, and to me, I think that this Tunisian setup is entirely different from what happened at the AFCON with Ivory Coast. Because with that one, the assistant coach was already with the team. So when the head coach, was decided, or when they decided to, sack the head coach, the assistant coach already knew the team. But with this, Raymond was not with the team. Probably if he was in charge of, the call-ups and other things, he would have, called different set of players. So to me, Raymond coming in wouldn't be, no. Maybe yes, it wouldn't be 5-4 as they received in the first game, but for them to shock Japan, to me, I doubt.
Nathan,
I agree. I think that Elvin now will try and motivate the team. You can tell that Tunisia's problem. Tunisia do have a quality problem and a structure problem.
Yeah,
they are not as good as they were. And Elvin now will have. It's almost like the Carlos Queiroz episode where what he's trying to do now is just organize the team and let the players feel more confident. But Japan are already settled.
Yeah.
They didn't win their first game, but they do have the quality to head Tunisia. So I think it will be a very, very tough game for the Tunisians.
We'll see how things pan out this weekend. But the World Cup is live on Sporty FM and it's live on Sporty TV. So you won't miss the action on TV and on radio. On Sporty FM, we bring you solid commentary on all the games that will be played this weekend. Just make sure your dial is locked on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Let me get into a few of your messages before we take the show home. Nathan, help me with a few of the messages and we quickly wrap up.
Nanaya Lakeside says, I agree with Ray. Football fans forget easily. I remember one time Jordan was called the Neymar of Ghana. So that is that message from Nanaya in Lakeside. Okay, this one says, I think people expect more from the captain. So if they do criticize him, I don't have a problem. But the abuse is not right. Okay? And let me read this final one. The person was talking about XG. Okay. It must go to the very top. That's the last one I need.
Yeah.
Okay, we've done this already, Immortal.
Hey,
Adam, who's in Agbozume.
This one is coming from my hometown.
Your hometown? Agbozume.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Oh, Immortal, why? Do you have a problem with me?
Okay, all right. Immortal, let's go to. I want the XG message.
But Nathan, give me my Agbozume message first.
I've read the Agbozume message already.
I didn't catch that one.
Okay. Alidin from Abloje says, by all means, everyone has his opinion, but when it becomes personal, that's where you must draw the line. We held all sorts of insults on Ajan during his playing days. Now, all those who insulted him sing his praises because we don't have a striker like him. Okay,
right.
All right. Immortal, there's one on the XG. You haven't given me that one.
Immortal doesn't like that.
I don't even understand
doesn't like XG.
Why he's giving us this one.
Okay.
This one says, I disagree. That was not a ball to hold on to. Okay, he must release the ball quickly.
Okay.
All right, that's coming from Ho.
Okay.
I don't know whether that's the name of the sender or the name of All right, this one
from father through
yes,
uncle.
This one says from father to the uncle to the children. The Ayus have contributed immensely to football and social life. They have to be applauded and honored. We overly criticize them even off the field and that's not fair. This might be his last major outing, and that will be it. Kofi Nathan from Tema. Thank you so much.
Then after this tournament,
This one,
your XG is almost here. Your XG is almost here.
This one, okay, beautiful and insightful analysis. So based on the analysis by Coach Jansen, who was our best player? Julius is asking, Coach, who was Ghana's best player in your opinion? Caleb Yankee was our best player.
Okay. Even aside the goal.
He was our best player. Okay. He was the one
how Semenyo managed to.
I don't know why the FIFA TSG named Antoine Semenyo man of the match.
That's Otto and his group.
Why are you personalizing it?
I'm just asking. That's
It's
Otto
the
and his
FIFA
group.
TSG. Let's move on. This one says Panama had a superior XG prior to Irinchi's goal. Before the goal, Panama had an XG of 0.73. Ghana's was 0.34. Caleb Irinchi's goal was an XG of 0.97. Thank you. Because of course from that range, that XG is obviously 0.97. So thank you, Kobe from Takwa. Thank you for that because I wanted to know what gave us that 1.37 XG. Thank you so much, Kobe. What's his name? Kobe from Takwa. Thank you for this one.
Right. And well, Nathan, thank you very much for joining me on the show. Thank you very much for co-piloting the show with me. As always, we'll be back on Monday to bring listeners and viewers another interesting edition of Ghana's #1 sports morning show, Sporty Breakfast. Coach Kwabena Danso has been with us right from the start of the World Cup, and he will be back on Copa Mundo at 2 p.m. With V-Power to bring you more insightful analysis. And Coach Kwabena Danso is a specialized or an expert when it comes to video analysis. He's a CAF licensee certificate holder. And he's actually enrolled for the license B, and very soon I'm going to organize a few people so that we send him to Europe to go and do the UEFA badges. You understand? Yeah, that's what we are going to do for Coach, so that we can give him. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? And Coach is a teacher as well. So if you look at how he took his time to take us through the lectures,
teaches maths and science.
Coach in class goes sweet. Coach in class.
Today I've learned something in plain geometry. The quadrants.
Yeah, the quadrants. Yeah,
that if in the quadrant 1 it is what? Positive.
Yeah, the positive, and the negative.
Quadrant
negative.
2 is negative, positive. Quadrant 3 is negative.
Yeah.
Quadrant 4 is positive, negative.
Yeah.
Hi!
Yeah, so you are a very good student.
If only my LHS maths teacher had taught us this would be fine.
You are a very good student.
Yes.
You pay attention in class.
That's important. That's how I've been doing well.
Which team was in quadrant 1? Which team was leading in quadrant 1?
Quadrant 1. Germany, they were at the extreme right because they had outperformed the XG.
Yeah. You paid attention. Coach, this will be your class prefect.
Excellent.
Right. Let me say a big thank you to the entire production team, Immortal, David Kofite, Emmanuel Ayamga, Fidelis and Yusuf Desaja Isa, aka Flyboy. Let me say a big thank you to the entire team for providing all the support on the show, and the entire technical team for providing all the technical support on the show. Biggie, Yeyo, Trish, Douglas, Jonathan. And let me say a big thank you to you. And once again, happy birthday to Kosi Fiaka, the